Hello, everyone. My name is Jason Smith, aka the Tallest Man Comedy. I'm here with my co-host Kerri Bemis, aka the Paparazzi Hottie, and we're joined by our guest Justin Fuller, who is a stand-up comedian like me, and he is also a content creator for the Midnight Paco Podcast. And he has
That's
agreed to come on
right.
our show. Yeah, come on our show and give us some legitimacy. So, thank you for doing it, Justin. We appreciate it.
Hey, no problem, man. I'm glad to be here. Excited.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
We,
Because
we've been talking about it. It's a long time coming, right?
long time.
absolutely.
Yep.
You
That's
know,
what I'm
because we had
saying.
the
Yeah.
idea and then we wanted to do it, and then we were thinking more three people on a couch, and then it would work like that. But then, you got to buy stuff, you got to figure things
Right.
out. But I feel good about the setup we got going on, and I'm excited to do it.
Well,
Hey,
I just want you go ahead.
uh,
Sorry. No,
I
go ahead.
was just gonna say, think about it like this: you can have people, there easier than trying to have in house and all that stuff. You know what I mean? It's tough when you have people like in place to have a show. It's like you got to accommodate a lot. So
Well,
this is
Yeah,
this is nice. I like using it. Yeah.
that's our intention though. We would prefer like the person in front of us, but
Right.
we have children and whatever. They
yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
ruin everything. You know that. Sorry, I said F. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I said F. I'm sorry. But yeah,
Damn
you know
kids!
what I
Oh, we
mean.
can't curse. We can't curse. Am I?
I
Should
mean,
I
I
watch my
think
language on this episode?
no. I put when I posted, I put not made for children. So I think that's a fair disclaimer, so that people can go. My kids, maybe I should watch this before I show it to my kids or whatnot. I don't think kids would be like awesome. They're older than me and they talk. Like I don't see the big draw for an 8-year-old to watch this. So
Wow. I swear a lot. So, all right, let's get
Yep.
into Justin. He's here, and we always said we wanted you and Cool C, our first guest,
first
and
two
you
guests.
are. So, thank you. Truly, thank you so much. It means more to us, and you probably are like, what the hell? I don't get it. But it means a lot to us. It really does. It
Hey, I
really
So
appreciate
does.
it.
yeah. Oh, we appreciate it as well. Mutual
So,
No
gratitude.
worries.
Jason,
Yeah, no worries.
I only know you because Jason met you at the comedy club.
Right.
Yes.
Oops. Yep.
So,
Yep.
So
talk about how this happened.
so
Who wants to go?
yeah. Also, so when I started doing comedy, it was a place called the Funny Stop in Cuyahoga Falls, and I met other people. It was just like an open mic format, a small cover
Mhm.
charge, and I met Justin there. And one of my jokes, I mentioned the word ninja, and he's like, "Yeah, I have a joke too, like ninja, and like so." And he had a very positive and happy energy and vibe, which
Mm-hmm.
is, as everyone knows, what draws people together.
Yeah,
Is
for sure.
that type of thing where they're like, "Oh, this is a cool person. This is a happy person." And that's the
Mm-hmm.
type of people you want to get to know, in my opinion, in life.
Yeah,
Oh,
absolutely. You and I weren't together at the time when you met him and Cool C, right?
Correct.
And so like I remember you we were talking, but whatever, and you were telling me about you met these people, you met these cool guys who was like helping me. So whatever, it's really cool. I don't know, we feel very happy that you're here, and that's really cool.
hey,
How?
so Jason. Oh, go ahead.
No,
I
you
was just
finish.
gonna
Go
say,
ahead.
Jason. So how long you been doing it?
How long have I been doing comedy?
Yeah.
I started doing it in December of 2023. So it was a year in 2024. So we're at a year and a half right now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I met you like, did you? Was that your first place you went to when you first started? Then
No,
or no?
when I was still on drugs, I tried it like twice at this like back room at a pizza place, and I didn't have notes.
Okay.
And then the drugs I was doing they're the opposite of performance enhancing. It's like you're like
Right.
you're not able to do much of anything. except
Oh,
lay there and be high or vomit because you're sick, that type of stuff. So I wasn't very good. I
right,
didn't have like a set list. I didn't really practice. I just had always wanted to do
right.
it, and I thought my life is pretty terrible. So maybe this could turn it around. And then later things got worse, where I wasn't even like semi maintaining like what life is. Went
Right.
yeah, went to county, did some time, like 8 months in county, came out, went to treatment, and no drugs for me anymore. I do drink, but no more drugs. And
Okay.
it's a lot more, where I can enjoy life and live life. So it straightened me out. But yeah, so when me and Kerri were in a thing where we had broken up and stuff, so then I started doing comedy because I once again felt like I'm not happy, and I've always wanted to do this. So maybe this is a good thing to do because I'm not happy.
Hey, can I say something? I'll tell you what, man. You would never know that backstory meeting you.
You're sweet.
You seem so like in a good mood and happy, and just in a good place. You would have never thought that you went through all that. I'll tell you that. So kudos to you for getting through what you
Yeah,
did. You know what I mean, and moving forward and finding some outlet for that. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Wow,
You had cut out.
that's cool. That's
Yeah,
really
you had
sweet.
cut
That's
out for a
really cool.
second.
Oh, he
So
said
so
that it was cool. Like he never realized you don't give off the impression that you went out through that shit. Like you were like,
yeah,
yeah, that's wild. But you know what? It makes sense because I've gone to some shows, whatever, and the one where we met you, like it's very clicky, and so I always
Oh
felt like
yeah,
maybe like
yeah.
I always felt like maybe they because they don't know his background, they don't know that because he's like what he's good looking, he's built, he's good, you know what I'm saying? He's hot, he's like blonde hair, blue eyed dude. They're thinking, yeah, 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 but he has so many layers more than like any of them know. You know what I mean? So I
Right,
totally get what
right.
you're saying. Why you would think you know what I'm saying? You'd be like, what the yeah, what
Yeah, you've never
I
thought.
totally get that.
Carries himself very well. Like he had no issues before. You know what I mean? He's very
Yeah.
happy when he's there. Good mood.
Yes.
Which is what it's supposed to be like when you're at a comedy club. You know what I'm saying?
right.
Yes.
You're supposed
Yeah,
to be there
Yes.
having a good time. It's felt like when I met
Yes.
when Cool C, me and Cool C, we've known each other before we started doing comedy. You know what I'm saying? And
Really?
oh yeah, we used to work together for a while, for a couple years. And I had left the job, and his superpower is he communicates with people.
He's on you both are awesome. Seriously, with that you said he communicates, so do you. But I totally
he,
get what you're saying.
but
Absolutely.
I'm
He
terrible at
listens.
reaching. Like, yeah, that plus he reaches out. Like, I'll talk to people. If somebody calls me, I'll talk to them and everything. But I'm not a big. I'll reach out to somebody or just call somebody just to say, hey, how you doing? You know what I mean? And when I left the job, it was I'd say months. I went down to the funny stuff. The first time I ever went on stage was July of 2019.
Wow.
And that was the first time I went on stage. And I've been wanting to do it probably for a good year prior to that. Because
yeah.
I left the job that me and him worked at, and I started working at the sweeping company. And so I ended up like during the wintertime, we'd sleep plazas and parking lots and all types of shit at night. Like Save
Okay.
a Lot parking lots and shit like that. So I would listen to podcasts. That's when I first started listening to podcasts, like Joe
Mm-hmm.
Rogan's podcast. I never even knew he had a
Right.
fucking podcast. Not a
Me
clue.
either. I
Not a
get it.
clue
I get it.
until like 3 years ago. Well, no, it's probably what I said 2019. So going 5 years ago, give or take. So that was the first time. And then Joel Byers, shout out to Joel Byers and Hot Breath. His podcast Hot Breath. He's
Mm.
been doing it for probably about comedy now, probably for 11 years. I'm not sure how long he's had the podcast, but he's had a lot of interviews with comedians, the top of the top. You know what I mean? He had Earthquake
Yeah.
on. He had Andrew
Wow.
Schultz. He had.
I would
Was
check
that
that out, yeah.
Was that the gentleman I saw at Crackpots, and he was wearing a Midnight Paco Podcast T-shirt, and he was really
No,
good.
no.
And they're like, "This is a touring comic," and he was really funny. He had a tight five. He was really good. And I'm like, I think I said something to him like, "Oh, do you know like Cool Seeing Justin?" Or no, I said you. Like, oh, he was like wearing like your shirt, and they're like, yeah, we know him. Like, I don't know if you remember that or
That
not,
wasn't
but
him?
that was. I don't know
That
if he
probably
was.
wasn't Joel. That probably wasn't Joel Byers
No,
because
it wasn't.
he's at Atlanta. Who was? Oh, somebody was wearing our shirt at Crackpot.
Yeah, and he was.
Get the fuck out of
They
here.
brought him on as a touring comic.
It was probably Chad. I am Chad.
Okay, that could be.
Chad Tate was he like half and half?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, curly hair.
You're so funny.
Yes, that was him.
Yeah, he's awesome.
One of his jokes was like his nephew getting homeschooled, and he would say the word wrong, and then he would like correct him. But it was a really good bit. It was really funny. I don't want to like say the joke because I'd butcher it.
Yeah, no, he's one of my He's one of my favorites in the area. He's awesome.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He has insurance impossibilities. Yeah, we've had him on the podcast. He's been a guest. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So it's a good time. Oh, that's awesome. I'm glad you.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I'm sorry, we interrupted you. So you were talking about like you worked and you went away, and then was it?
Oh yeah. So I was listening to the podcast and everything, and so I was like, I never knew you could just go to an open mic and do comedy. Like growing up, I never thought, because I always, I liked Eddie Murphy. I've seen him in movies. I watched Delirious and Raw and Chris Rock and all these people. I'm like, they're movies. They're movies though. How do you get into comedy? How do you just do that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I never knew there was a path. And growing up in Erie, Pennsylvania, it's like, there's no, let's say, dreams. There's no time for dreams. Go to a school, get a degree, get a job, so you can raise a family, blah, 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 do all that fucking brainwash bullshit that they teach you, and that's all you grow up to, whatever the case. So that was the path I chose, and I did other things, the military and all types of other shit. You know what I mean? And then you come back and you're still just like, what am I doing myself? You know?
Yeah.
I love that. I never knew you went to the military. Never knew that.
Yep. I spent like 9 years. 9 years in the military.
Oh wow! What branch?
I was in the National Guard, the Army National Guard, PA.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But look, so I signed up in February of 2003. I got done with basic training because I went late because of just scheduling and everything, blah, blah, blah. So I ended up going like, let's say November or some shit. But you finish in December. I finished in December, got back with my unit because National Guard's basically supposed to be what, 1 week in a month, so many weeks in the summer.
Yeah.
That's what the recruiter tells you anyway.
Shit. As soon as I got back to my unit in January, I was with them for a few months, and then they got noticed that another company was getting deployed, and they were going to take other people or accept volunteers. And I figured, well, you know what? I joined up to go to school. Let me just do this and get it out of the way. And if something happens. I'll have insurance money. My son will be somewhat taken care of, and whatever. Let's do it. So I just volunteered to go on that deployment. And so look, so that was 04, 05. I get back. I was there for another little bit, and then we get deployed again in 2008, 2009.
And when you say deployed, is that overseas or domestically? Like, is that you're going to Afghanistan or something, Iraq?
Yeah, I was in Iraq twice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because
So
when you
both
think of
sides.
National Guard, you think like the guys breaking up the protests at Kent. You don't think
Right.
you're shipping
Yeah.
out, you're
No.
going coach to Iraq.
Right.
That's not what I would have thought.
Well, the beautiful thing about it is when I joined the military, I just went and looked for the signing bonus, and because there was so many different jobs you could do in the military, according
Yeah.
to your ASVAB score, this and that, and but the highest signing bonus was infantry. So sign me up, $6,000,
Yeah.
okay. But they'll tell you, they don't tell you they space it out, so you get a little bit at a time over the
Yeah.
course of your whole career. So
Yeah.
either way, I loved it. It was cool.
That's awesome. I'm glad you had a good
Yeah.
experience. I totally get what you're
Well,
saying. My brother also, I'm not trying to make it like political, whatever, but same thing. He was in the army since he was 18. He's like, I'm getting out of this shit. And he went into like you said, the reserves. And it was like the first time, like they called in the reserves, right? And so he was like,
Yep.
shit, I didn't want this. And he was also in
Right.
Iraq and all that. Yeah, I totally get it. I totally get it. That's really cool, man.
Yep. So when I got
That's really
back and
cool.
everything, yeah. So it's just I've always wanted to do it. Never thought you could. And then, so like I said, I was working, driving, listening to podcasts, and so I was like, I wanted to find a spot, and I couldn't find like an open mic. I went to this bar because I thought I seen something, but there was nothing there that night, and I was like, kind of happy because I wasn't ready, but I was ready. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then so I found the funny stop, and then I went there and I watched. I sat back, and I'm like, well, I could do that bad. You know what I mean? I could do at least that bad, whatever the case. So
Right.
yeah, my first time is actually on YouTube. I posted it. It wasn't terrible.
Okay.
It was a
I
packed
love
house,
that.
man.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Back then it was packed. That whole room was packed.
Yeah.
Amazingly. You've seen it packed before, but it was like for an open
Right.
mic, it was nice.
How
So
long ago?
so then
How long ago was that? You think? If you have
so
an
that
idea.
was July 2019. That was
Okay.
the exact
Okay.
date. Yeah, it was sometime, I forget what date, but it was July 2019. But then I never went back until December of 2020 because of my job.
Okay.
So get this. Because of my job. Like all I asked them, because then, there's a lot of times I work with construction crews, so we'd be out there like 14 hours. There's no way I can get done with work and get out there and do it on Wednesdays and this and that. So I was like, hey, look, every time, because this place requested me and this and that, I'm like, please just give me Wednesdays. I'll go do other shit. Just give it to somebody else. Somebody else could
Right.
do that one. I could do something else, get off so I can go do what the fuck I need to do and, handle my business. They wouldn't do it, so I found another job. I'm like, look,
Right.
I'm dedicated, man. It's not,
Yeah.
I don't get out as much as I'd like to,
I love it.
but,
Yeah, when you start and you get on the stage and you get some laughs, you're like, it's almost like a drug. You're like, oh my God, this is amazing. And then you're very focused on doing it, even though you're not really good at all, but the bar is pretty low when you start because it's you later realize it's a bunch of other guys that are trying to do it. So
Yep.
it's not like they're not too critical because they know it's a easy thing to be bad at and a very difficult thing to be good at. You could tell them someone's really good at something because they make it look easy. But it didn't. When they started doing it, it wasn't like that. Whether you were and Michael Jordan first time playing basketball, like anything like that. Tiger Woods the first time he golfed was not easy for that person, but they got so good at it that they make it look like effortless.
Well, Tiger Woods been playing since he was a baby, so I don't know.
But
He's an outlier.
Right, outlier for sure.
Because I understand what you're saying. I'm kind of like the outsider looking in because I never, no way would I would never be able to go up there and perform and like just talk. I've sang and done shit like that, but are you kidding me? Like, no, I would never be able to do that. But I can tell that like how you said, like, it's like an addiction, right? So you get that first laugh. I can see it with you guys. I can see it when I'm up there. Or not when you're up there, I'm sorry, and I'm watching you and you're like, oh, I can see in your faces. It's more of an emotional thing, in my opinion. I don't know. It's
The
like
word,
weird, right? It's like listen, everybody, the joke is all comedians are damaged, right? But it's a
Yeah.
very like I see it in your faces because I'm not up there doing it, but I
Yeah. No,
can see it, right? And that's okay. I love that. That's what I love about it. I truly do. I love about it.
I'll tell you what, the worst thing about comedy is when nobody laughs at what you say.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, man, me and Cool C talk about this shit all the time on the Midnight Paco podcast. Oh, snap.
That's right. Keep
Yeah.
doing it, baby. Keep doing it. Say it again.
We on the Midnight Paco podcast, streaming all over the place, people, worldwide. Check it out
That's
on
right. Check it
Spotify,
out.
YouTube,
Check it
Apple
out.
Podcasts,
And we're gonna show
Pandora,
it.
iHeart, everywhere. Say something. No,
That's right. We're gonna show it too.
we talk about it all the time. There's times where you don't want to say it's the crowd. There's times it's the crowd. There's
Yeah.
times it's the crowd.
Yes.
Sometimes the crowd don't jive with your material, which I understand. Not
Right.
everybody likes fingers and buttholes. I get it. I talk. I say silly shit. You guys, you've heard all my material. A lot of the shit I talk about, it rides very many lines.
I think it's hilarious.
I performed at Crack
But
Spots.
some people do.
I get it.
I performed at Crack Spots last Thursday, and it was an amazing crowd. They were awesome.
Nice.
There was
Yeah, we got to
only
get out there more.
there was only 2 comics that didn't do well, and the one guy was just, in my opinion, very green, and he was soft spoken, which is hard as a comic. And then there was a chick, and it was her first time, and she opened with she was heckling the other comics before she went up, which is like that's terrible, right? Like to where the owner and another comic came over and was like, "You're not supposed to talk. It's an open mic. Like this is not part of the show." So then she goes up there, and already they're going to give it back to her because they're like, "You were being disrespectful for other people, so now what do you
Are you
get?"
ready? Are you ready, man? You ready for what you got? So come on, here we go.
Yeah. Her opening was, I brought my drug dealer, my dick dealer, and my dildo dealer. That was her opener, and she was wasted, and then people just laid into her to where the host Ryan had to step in and be like, "All right, I get it. I get this is what she deserves, but let her do her set. Let's keep the show moving." And then, I think she did 3 minutes, and I think she was drunk enough she didn't realize how bad it really was. But I was up next, and that was cool because they were like happy before I set foot on the stage because they're like, no one's as bad as her, so it worked out for me.
Yeah, that's good.
I wasn't there, but he went up there. I heard the audio, and they were like, "Oh, Jason Smith," and then someone yelled, "Thank God!" It was just so funny. Like, but I whatever. It was just funny. But okay,
yeah, I'll tell you. So that's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say that's the other thing is when you got somebody up there that's just like dying a slow death. You know what I mean? When it's not easy to do. You know what I'm saying? It's you think it is, but if you go up unprepared, it's the worst. To hear somebody say, "What else? What else? What else?" If somebody goes to their phone, they lose me. If somebody goes, I know people do it. I know if they do it, it helps. I get it. And the problem is, it's an open mic sometimes, and I know, but I've seen that shit on shows, and I'm like, what? But either way, I know you even open mics come a little prepared, and that's not just riff. Just riff. You know what I'm saying? Just do that, which I need to do more of. But
I mean, when I see somebody, I was watching. I was charging my car, and I was watching Jimmy Carr, his latest stand-up special, and he was really funny. He was good, and when I see someone that has that ability to, I'm not just saying the funniest stuff I can think of. I'm actually like, this is my hour planned list, and I can riff if I want to, but I know a lot of jokes make you guys laugh. You get there the same way a dude gets a gold medal for weightlifting in the Olympics. Like, you got to put a hell of a lot of work to have an hour of stuff that kills. Like it's years of preparation to get that done.
It helps with fans too.
Yeah.
When you have fans, they love anything you do for the most part.
I get that. No, I
I've seen
understand
that
what you're
too.
saying.
A lot of it is because the people that are going to see these people at their point in their careers are fans. You know what I'm saying? So they're filling these places and they're excited. They don't care. They want to hear what he has to say.
That's true.
It's about building a fan base, and it's weird because when you start from the mud, nobody knows.
Yeah.
Nobody knows who the fuck I am. They're knowing. They're learning. You know what I mean? But that's one person at a time. That's meeting you at the club. That's meeting other people out. That's talking with other comedians.
Yeah, you have to find your fans because it's so subjective what people think is funny. And then if you can get to the point to where you have a fan base, then they come and see you, and of course you're going to kill it because they already know your humor. Like they paid $100 a ticket. Of course they're going to be dying in their seats because you're awesome to them. Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
Look,
which kind of. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. Nope, go ahead.
I would say, like, it kind of leads me to like my next thought, where it's like, I've seen the comics, I've been there, but you have a very different. You're very unique with your comedy. It's very different. It really is.
Thank you.
It's
Thank
different.
you.
And
Thank you.
I think people, they don't get it at first, right? They have to kind of sit there and look and go, huh? Like, and I like that. I really do. It's a different dynamic. I think so. You don't just go up there and go. You're not like, I don't know. You go. I truly feel that when you walk up there and you're like, hey man, this is me. Like you're walking on the stage and you're like, I'm doing this. I think it's really cool and it's very different. You know, that takes a lot of courage, man.
Well, I'm glad you think so. I mean, I've always, my favorite comedians have always been. Chris Rock said it. He doesn't want ha 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 ha. He wants ooh shit. Ooh What the fuck? Ha ha. Huh? What? Get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? He doesn't need all that laugh. In a lot of the things, I tell every comedian this, and I know nothing. I've been doing it. In December it'll be 4 years. So I'm still 3.5 in, whatever case. I'm very young in the game. You know what I mean? They say it takes 10. I started when I was 43, somewhere around there.
Wow.
Which is rough already. But I tell everybody this, and this is what I look at it. If I had one chance to give an hour and to talk about what I find funny and just be me and be silly and you know and show my humor, what would I talk about? And I'll tell you what, a lot of the things just happened. Just like my Amber Alert joke, all that stuff that came out of nowhere. And, you know, obviously it came from getting an Amber Alert, me sitting in my bed one night high, and then my mind just goes elsewhere, and then I start thinking about my ninja shit, and then it just, you know what I mean? It comes all together, and then in my childhood and watching stuff, and you just start thinking about things, and it's like, and then I go into me getting shot and everything, and it all comes. It kind of comes full circle. I'm telling stories. I'm throwing jokes in. I say shit that's funny. I don't necessarily tell punchlines. I say funny shit, and it sounds like a punchline, kind of. But I'm just trying to really just sound funny and tell stories and be a storyteller in a sense. But I'm not a set-up punch kind of guy, but I try and throw as much funny little things in there and keep the story going. It's hard because you only get 5 minutes at a time sometimes to tell your shit, and it's like.
But sometimes that fucking fight. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I try not to run the light. I try to be very respectful of the light because I know that's a big thing in the industry. If you get hired for a job, you gotta do this amount of time, do that amount of time, get the fuck off stage. Nobody else they don't care what the fuck else you gotta say. You know what I mean? Because the headliner's got to go up. Now, once you become a headliner, you got all the time in the world. You know what I mean? But that's building to that. There's phases within this game that you're learning. It sucks, but at the same time, I get it. You know what I mean? There's phases because you have to learn etiquette. Hosting, I don't like hosting. I'll do hosting. Because you got to do the announcements. You got to learn all these fucking names and tell, okay, this dude's coming, this dude's coming, this dude's coming. You got to try and do it professionally. And that's where a lot of people fuck up. They just want to do their time. It's not about you. It's about the show. You say a little bit of funny shit. You move forward. It actually can be fun if you embrace it. It's just I want to get up there, do my time, and get the fuck off stage. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta. It's a unique talent. I say this all the time. It's a different skill set, which it's good to do because you can get a lot of jobs hosting shit if you're good at it. You know what I mean? It's not
absolutely.
I need to embrace it more.
I agree because Jason, do you remember being at like other comedy places and the guy, maybe it takes him a little harder to get upstairs, right? And it's complete silence.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you're a good fucking host, sorry to add, if you're a good host, right? And so it's been complete silence and the guy's trying to get up the stairs and and I'm like, oh my God, we should be clapping. We should be like ignoring this. And it's awkward, but I totally get what you're saying.
Yeah, but you know what, man? The hell with that. I thought you knew he was going up next. He should have been ready. Hurry up. Nobody got time for you.
That's part of it too.
He was handicapped though.
We got time for that shit.
Give him that.
I'm playing.
I get it. I opened twice for like touring guys at Crackpots, and
Jason,
both times
tell the story about the Nazi. Sorry, go ahead.
And both times the guy that was hosting, he's not a comic, he's like a radio guy, and he has a smart choice of that profession because his voice is great, like not James Spader great, but it's close. He has a great voice for a man, for sure. But like he'll go up there and try to tell some jokes, but you could tell he's a radio guy, not a comic, because he's not particularly funny.
Okay.
Just him afterwards. And the first time I opened, I didn't do that great. But the second time I did well, to where the owner like gave me the thumbs up, like, yeah, like, you did a good job. So that was cool. But then like afterwards, the radio guy's like, yeah, I'm not a comic, I'm a radio guy. Just I just go up there and say my stupid shit and just keep the show moving and yada yada. So it is a total difference in skill set, because as the host, you don't have to be particularly funny, but you have
it's not your job.
To show moving, you have to sound professional. It is a different skill set.
But it was perfect for him, like you're saying, because he was a radio guy, so he knows how to keep the stuff going.
Absolutely.
And that's what I got to get in my mind sometimes when I do it. It's really because you just want to get but it's better to be in the moment as a host. You know what I mean? It's just better just to be in the room, not worry. You can say your material, maybe a few minutes, but it's best just to be in the room, and that's something I got to learn to do and relax more and not worry about material. You know what I mean?
You both are so fun. You both are so funny because it's like you're not there to be a host; you're there to be a comedian. So
no. But,
right?
But
right?
when
it's uncomfortable, right?
But when you're the host of the show, that you got to put on that host hat. It's a different skill set. It's something good to know.
Right.
You just gotta flip the switch and be in a different mindset. Look, I'm nervous every time. Before I go on stage. As soon as they say my name, that shit goes away. As soon as I grab the microphone, guess what? It's game time. I gotta fucking talk my shit. That's spotlight's on. They don't give a fuck how nervous you are. It's time to go. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's just. It's different mindsets. It's weird because there's times I've said material and then there's times I've said same material and it's been fucking on fire.
Yeah.
On fire. Right. I don't know if it's how you deliver. It's all about how you deliver shit too. It's so crazy, this thing.
Yeah, it's the crowd. It's and this is. I mean, I'm only ever been in the Cleveland area. As south as Massillon and. Like as north as Funny Stop, like not even like I guess the South Cleveland area. But I can't imagine if you're a guy that's like pursuing that dream and you're traveling across the country on a tour. Maybe a more established guy's taking you on a tour, like Dane Cook did that Tourgasm, and he brought people he knew from comedy with him. But what's funny to one crowd to another in Cleveland is going to change. Now, let alone the difference between Cleveland and Southern Alabama or Northern Florida or I don't know, Utah. Like that's a totally different. Like that's like light years apart as far as your audience and what they might find funny.
So you know what you do?
Hmm.
You talk about what you find funny. You talk about you. You
Right.
don't worry about what you think everybody else is gonna find funny. That's the beauty of this thing is you talk about. It's look. I'm not political. I don't talk. I'm not topical. I don't. I trust me. There's things I could talk about. There's jokes I had about the submarine. There's jokes I had about everything else. The
Yeah.
only thing I have a little bit of a transgender bit I'm working on. You know what I'm saying? But that's
I'm
still
already
personal. It's still personal to me because it has to do with this a job and talking with this dude who's bisexual, and it's just some silly shit added on and how I view you know what I mean.
Right.
Just it's a take off of that, but it's still a story from my life that gives me this angle. It's a rough one though. It's just hard to fucking work out because it sounds like it's a confession.
Yeah.
It's not. So I gotta
That's how
find
it
this
is. Like
fucking.
like you
That's awesome.
think of this. You think of this bit in your head. There's something really funny there, but it's
Oh, the punchline's hilarious. The punchline works, but I have to carry the bit along and keep going, and it's just that's the hard part is bringing everything back.
And when you only got 5 minutes, you don't have a lot of time to set up your jokes, and you it's hard to do callbacks because you're not on stage long enough. So it's a very nuanced form of art, right? Like if you're a painter, you're painting, and that's your painting. You're never asked or criticized. You might be criticized, but you don't ever have to go back and make that painting better because that's your painting. Now, as a comic, you're always striving to do what you did last time, but better. And sometimes you do it better and get worse results, and that's a little frustrating.
Yeah. You're because I feel because you're. Well, you guys have to. You're feeling. It's not your emotion. You're up there doing like your thoughts and your emotions and your whatever, right? You're trying to make it relate to those people who are freaking strangers. How difficult is that? Of course, oh my gosh,
But that's why a lot of my stuff. But that's why a lot of my stuff is relationship, sex, drugs, little other silly shit. I talk about other stuff. But like you were saying with callbacks and shit. How hard it was. How long of a callback it is when I talk about the movie, the fucking Last Dragon, who nobody knows about. Nobody.
Yeah.
Can you imagine me going somewhere in West Virginia talking about the Last Dragon? Fucking Bruce Leroy. Who the fuck is that? They don't know it. But when I talk about the Karate Kid and bring it back. But the problem is, if you don't know the show enough, it fucks up my whole ending when I carry it on when I get shot, and my whole ending with that is just destroyed because my hope is, and this is my dream. So when I want a stadium like show no. Eventually I'll have that where everybody in the fucking stands knows what I'm talking about and they say it, but it's so hard. It doesn't. It dies. Only certain people shout it out. But I don't care. You got to do it. Your material got to live or die with you. You know what I'm saying? And I enjoy that bit. I love that bit to every fucking ounce of me because it's a lot of me inside. You know what I mean? It's a lot of my childhood. It's a lot of what happened to me. It's a lot of stuff. You know what I
All
mean?
of
And
Right.
it.
it's and I'm talking about from where I start the whole thing from with the where being high and all that shit and the Amber Alert and fucking all that everything. Wanting to be a ninja and just fucking all of it's like a story. And I just try and
Yeah.
throw funny shit
Absolutely.
in there. You know what I mean? But look, I even with my Google joke, I love my Google joke, and it's such a fucking easy premise, but it's always going to be a different fucking joke if somebody tries to do it because it's a different name, so it doesn't matter. But
So let me
you
ask
know,
you about yourself. I know.
yeah,
I'll tell you what I know. I know your name is Justin Fuller. From Joe Chief Told on Stage, you work in a warehouse. I do too. So not judging.
hell yeah, I forgot
Um,
all about that shit. Yeah,
yeah. So
That's hilarious.
so
Sorry, I laughed.
so I know that you're on the Midnight Paco Podcast with Cool C.
That's
Let
funny.
me ask
and,
you.
and look, we got coasters. We got coasters too. Look at that. Damn.
You
Nice,
do?
nice.
You have fucking merch?
Oh
They do have
yeah.
merch.
Look, we got
Absolutely.
merch everywhere.
All right.
Hey, if you
Now
go
I'm
on if you
looking.
go on Amazon or Redbubble, under 26 Apparel, that's where all the merch is. That's where
Tonight,
you'll see all
Okay.
the merch.
tonight we're buying shit. Oh my god.
Oh,
That's freaking
appreciate
awesome.
it.
I didn't know we had merch. That's
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
That's
Redbubble,
awesome.
yeah.
Say
Redbubble,
it again.
Redbubble got a lot of good shit. Like Amazon just got like hoodies, shirts, but Redbubble you can get mugs, you can get
That's
blankets,
cool.
you can get
Okay.
And
leggings and shit. It's crazy.
redbubble.com.
Yeah,
Yeah, say it
Redbubble.com.
clearly. Say it clearly
Re-
without me talking or him talking, where they can find your merch. Go ahead.
Redbubble.com under 26 Apparel. You gotta go
Okay.
find two because we've had our shit bootlegged already. It's out there somewhere bootlegged, but
That's wild. That's
What?
wild.
yeah. Oh, it's crazy. It's fucking amazing. Hey, Cool C sent me some shit. I'm like, oh, we're not on that website. I've had to send emails to try and get shit, taken up because somebody bought a pair of socks one time. And I'm like, dog, we ain't got socks. We got, I mean, we got socks now on Redbubble because I was like, fuck it, we'll put socks up too. If people want some socks, we'll put some socks up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But so,
This is
yeah, somebody
writing
was
a cease and desist while smoking a joint. You motherfuckers, don't do that again.
yeah, what the
Selling
fuck,
socks in
man?
my
Hilarious.
podcast name. You jerks.
We
That's
just started and
hilarious.
but somebody was like, fuck it, man, it looks good, I guess. Thank you. I mean, I kind of felt nice about it, but at the same time, I was like, fuck, dog, that's
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 right.
my $2. The fuck?
Absolutely. Toast.
Yeah,
That's
kind of
awesome.
flattered,
Oh
but
my
also
god.
insulted. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Eh,
yeah,
I
yeah.
remember I
So,
watched
but
a
that's awesome.
documentary. I watched I watched a documentary. The guys from South Park, before they ever started South Park, made this video. It was like a funny animated video. Other people use that video to get work. They use what they created. Yeah, we made this because they just put it out
ah,
there. And the internet was
right,
really like young then, and they just were like, yeah, this is our stuff, and they got hired off their
Mhm.
work, which is wild. It's wild to me
crazy.
the angles people work.
It's
Yes, it's
amazing.
crazy. It's kind of
You know,
flattering.
what's funny about the South Park is the program they use is Anime Studios, I believe.
Okay.
And so I use it, and that's what I use to create the image kind of with the face and draw our cartoon characters
Yeah.
because that's the same one the South Park used, and I was like, oh, let me use it, and I used it. I created me and Cool C's cartoon characters. That's the face for the
Yeah.
logo. So
You
I already
drew
have
them?
the card. I mean, I traced our image, and I did it on the computer, and I made the
Okay, okay.
face. I
Yeah.
got the body. It's all animated, so I have like the earlier videos. If you watch our earlier intros, I have us walking in. You know what I mean, and doing certain things, or like pointing, or something like that. and I didn't do anything. I always thought about doing like a cartoon. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's with the same program, because it's think about South Park, man. They have little fucking ass little characters. You know what I mean? They
Right.
don't do
They don't
shit,
even move. They go
Right.
like this.
but
Right? Yes.
but the
Yes.
shit's hilarious. It's all
Yeah, they're
about
funny.
it's all
Funny
about
dudes. Yeah.
it's all about what they talk about. It's all about what they put
Yeah.
on there. You know
Don't
what I
even
mean?
get
It's
me
Yeah.
started. Yeah, please don't.
have,
I
have
will
you
go
ever thought
into it.
have you ever thought about doing acting or anything?
Me?
Doing skits? No, I'm talking about both
Uh,
of you.
Jason. Oh.
Both of you.
yeah. I mean, I was never drawn to that only because I don't feel that I could ever accomplish that in Cleveland. And I have, I my family's here, and when I was younger, the way I was brought up, I was raised Jehovah's Witness. So like,
Okay.
it didn't
That's
make me
kind of
like
weird. You ain't got no jokes about it. What the fuck?
It's the truth.
I have mentioned it on stage in some of my sets.
Okay.
Okay.
But
You got to dig deep into that, dog. Are you kidding me?
That's
yeah,
episode
so
number 4. That's
Wow.
like
episode
by
number
the
4.
time
Okay.
by the time I
Answer the
got to a
question.
certain age, like all I wanted to do was have friends who accepted me, which I never had
Okay.
growing up in school because I always felt like I
Right.
don't know how to I don't know how to explain it. I felt like at any moment I was going to be humiliated because I didn't stand up for the Pledge of
Jehovah's
Allegiance.
Witness.
I didn't
Okay.
get to do the
Right,
Halloween
right,
art project. Like, so you're just kind of like very much
right.
like
Kids are
on
foolish.
guard, and you're like a rich underbuilt guy walking down New York City, like eyes on the floor, like don't make eye contact, don't cause any shit, like you can't afford any scrutiny. So you're so far under the radar, it's
Right.
like you're the invisible kid, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
So when I got
Well,
to go ahead.
no. I don't understand. What's the
There
original
is
question?
so much material there, Jason.
I
There
agree.
is.
I agree. Here's the.
And it's a unique subject that nobody fucking has.
Right.
I agree. I feel that he.
You
needs
could
to
do
be-
it. Look, you could do an hour on Jehovah Witness shit because Ari
I
Shafir
absolutely
did one
could.
on being a Jewish person. He did it
I
on
think
his special is called Jew.
the,
You
the
could,
last
you know,
the last joke I told about it was at Funny Stop, and I said, "Oh, well, you guys aren't laughing. That's fine. I was raised Jehovah's Witness. I knocked on strangers' doors and tried to sell them God. It's a tough sale, especially when you don't believe in your product." That was the last
right?
time that I kind of went into that, and that was just
Okay.
impromptu. Like I'm not. If you think you not laughing bothers me, I'm here to tell you it does not. I'm
You
okay
Right,
with
right,
it.
right.
You
Well, I'll tell
actually
you what.
said
You need
that
to,
once. You actually said that
yeah.
once. You were like, I knocked door to door. You think you don't love me is going to affect me? No, it doesn't. One time he actually said to the crowd, I hope you die. Well, I hope you all get cancer and die. Because he was in a bad space.
Not in those words. She's
Jason.
Not in those
embellishing.
words.
What the thing was
Just
is I was
laugh.
trying to do a
Don't think
bit
that was
about.
funny.
I was trying to do
Stop
a
it.
bit.
Stop.
Look, can I talk? I'm trying to do a bit about the difference between like euphemisms and what people say and like the reality. So
Okay.
the set was not going great. Earlier in the night, another comic who I can't prove is jealous of me, but I can only assume is, said, "Hey, you're wearing a shirt tonight." And I'm like, "Yeah, you like my shirt?" Because like sometimes I'm very gullible. And I'm like, "Oh, you like my shirt?" And then he showed me a picture of me topless that I chose to post on Instagram because I'm cut and I look great. So it was a very weird flex that you're going to try to
Right.
embarrass me with something that I chose to put out there to brag because I'm proud of it. So I was like confused by it. Like
All right,
I was,
time out.
and the best I could come up with was I was like, I'm not saying I jerk off to that picture, but I'm not saying I don't, which got a different comic to laugh. So I felt kind of vindicated, but something's happened and it kind of rattles around in the back of your mind. And then later,
he walked in the door and the people said that. He walked in the door, literally. He didn't even order a fucking drink. And he walked in the door and he said, oh, Jason, what's this? So it got him in a fucking mood.
It can get you in the mood and it fucks with you. You don't want to go on stage with that attitude. It fucks with you. It sucks.
And he did. And they did it on purpose because they're fucking, yeah. It got to him though, but that's fine because I like the joke at the end. Tell him to die of cancer.
So I was on stage.
That's support. Hey, that's support. Good for you. That's
I did. I thought it was fucking great. I fucking brag about it to our kids. I'm like, you did.
Hey, hold on. Let me say this too. Good for you for going and supporting like that. That's 100%. People need that shit. That's kudos to you for going and supporting them. 100%. Because everybody needs a little bit of support. It's tough. You know what I mean? It's hard to go do it and you think, I'm doing it. And I'm doing it. I know I want to do it. But when you ain't got support like you think, you know what I mean? It's like, what the fuck? I know I'm doing the right thing I should be doing, but so 100%.
Well, the difference between
the difference between can I speak for one moment? I appreciate you saying that. I haven't been going lately. But I will start going more. So thank you for saying that.
But you were there. I see you a bunch. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
It can be tough because I know you go, you watch, you see the same shit. You know, in my eyes, it's a night out. You know what I mean? It's a night to do something. What else? You know what I mean? You can sit home and watch some bullshit ass rerun or some bullshit ass thing on Netflix or some blah 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 blah. You know, whatever.
Listen,
it's a night out.
If we go out and I watch this comedy and then we come back and we like have some like steamy sex, you better believe it. Man, I'm just joking. But no, I get it.
No, you're not. You're fucking telling all the truth. Good for shit. Good job. Hey, that's what it's supposed to be like. You go out, you have a good time, you laugh, you have some drinks, you come back and smash. That's right. You enjoy it. That's right. Good job. Kudos to you. I'm glad you're doing some shit.
And I go to Goodwill's and support her in trying to find stuff to resell. And you make sacrifices to make your relationship work. And if you don't, you won't have a relationship very long. That's just how it works.
That's right. I'm on top going, oh baby, you were fucking good last night, man.
Well, man. She's on top. She's on top. Holy shit! I gotta do all the goddamn work. What the fuck?
Sometimes.
Congratulations! High five.
Mostly he's doing the work.
High five.
Sometimes.
Yeah, good for you, dog. Good for you.
So they fuck with my head by showing me.
Charles Maniconi throwing some shit around.
So then I was doing
you know that people made fun of it.
Okay.
Sorry, Jason. I know you want to hear a story, and I'll be real quick. Like,
go ahead.
People made fun of us, and we're like, oh, the obvious couple. Because I understand. We were like, ooh, I get that. We had just gotten back together, and so we were like on each other. But like, people made fun of us. But it kind of kept you going, Jay. You were like, F you, man. Like, all right, I have a girlfriend. Who cares?
Yep.
Like, right? Like,
good for you.
If that's the slam, I don't get it.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Ouch. Ooh, sorry.
You idiot. You find someone. What a loser. Like, I don't get it. I don't get that angle of attack. It's just confusing.
No, the good thing is there's support. The good thing is there's support. You know what I'm saying? And that's a lot. That's the big
Everybody needs it. Everybody needs it.
Yeah.
But that's what happened when you walked in. He showed you this picture that you were like totally built. Go ahead.
So then I'm on stage and I was already like a little like I thought like whatever, but then later I'm like, that was like a total D move. Like he had no reason to do that. I've never been anything but nice to the guy. So then I said, my bit was people say stuff but it doesn't really make any sense. Like they'll tell you the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line, but who's like zigzagging through their life, going in random directions and turning like obvious? It's kind of obvious. And one of the other lines was, they say laughter is the best medicine.
Yeah, that is so funny.
And if that's true, I hope you guys don't have cancer because you're going to die, which was an interesting take on them laughing at me. A little bit of mean humor. They also did not laugh at that particular punchline. So, but that was, I didn't say, I hope you guys get cancer and die. I was saying, if laughter is the medicine you need to not be sick, you're not laughing, so you're in a bad place. But I mean, I think if had I not been fucked with early in the night, I think that I wouldn't have had a little bit of meanness in it. It would have been more observational. Right. But I did not wish that the audience was dead. I just said, you know.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, Trevor Scott says he hopes people go home and die, so people, you know.
Justin, have you ever had that feeling? Have you ever had that feeling where, like, he says, I heard him a different way, whatever, it doesn't matter. But have you know the energy he's talking about? Have you ever had that feeling, like, where you're like, fuck you,
it's a little
like
adversarial with the audience?
Fucking pissed because you're fucking giving shit and they're not laughing at it.
I said one time I said you suck. at the end, I said one time at the end you suck, and afterwards I said I'll never say it again because you know what? It's because you know maybe it just wasn't my night. Maybe it was the material they didn't find funny. Maybe I chose the wrong bit. Whatever the case, but it's one of those things where it's like it's not. Even though I feel that way, I shouldn't say it to them. Because there could be somebody out there like me. And when I said that, they were like, well, fuck this dude. I don't know that. You know what I'm saying? But that's a possibility, is all I'm saying. And I don't want to leave that thing. I tried my best. They didn't like it, but maybe it was the material I chose to talk about. Because when I go there, sometimes I go with a mindset, which I'm trying to change. I'm trying to show up and just say, okay, look at the crowd and say, what can I talk about with this crowd? Because you got to read your crowd. You know what I mean? There's certain things I've said where, and it's just certain people don't like to hear about drugs. So I don't do like my marijuana baby or something like that. Or you know, if there's no relationship, there's no couples, why am I going to do my relationship bits or you know, certain like that. So I kind of hamstring some of myself with my material because of what I have. You know what I mean? And but sometimes it's what you got. You know what I mean? So you got to go up there and talk what you can. It's about your delivery, your mindset. But I went up there, I did my shit, and people were giving me. I'm like, you guys suck. And it was all night. It was all night. So it was just one of those things. I just felt the need to tell them they fucking sucked. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, sometimes it is the crowd, but whatever. I shouldn't have blamed them. I shouldn't have blamed the crowd. Is the problem. You know what I mean? I should just got off the stage, took the fucking loss, and just moved forward and said whatever. I
love it. I love it.
That's all. That's all.
If I can ask you another question. Okay, so we'll be there, and they give the lineup, right? Right? Oh, there's 16 comics. Come for the lineup. Yeah. What is the number that you guys want to be? Well, one at a time, okay? So like it's 1 to let's say it's 10 to make it better.
Okay.
1 to 10. What number is it that you guys would like to be? Justin, you go first.
I'll tell you what, I don't mind being in the middle. I'll say around 7. I don't mind being there. It's cool to be. I mean, I've been everywhere. I hate being number 1. 7's cool.
Really?
I like the sweet spot.
You like 7, Jason?
I like to keep the motherfucking thing
going. Sorry. I'm sorry, Justin. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I don't know. It's weird because it depends. Because I like the headliner spot. Obviously, you like to be at the end. You know what I mean? But at the same time, within the show, I just don't want to be first. That's why I'm not greedy. I don't mind where I'm at. I just don't want to go first. I just want to be in the sweet spot. I want to be where people are settled. They're fucking comfortable. The show's going. I can get a read. I understand where I'm going, and boom, I'll just go and hit them with my fucking. And they're comfortable. So
Yeah.
seven's comfortable because it's towards the end of the show. That's after everybody's there. They've been felt out. I'm understanding. So out of 10, I'll say 7. I don't
What about
mind.
you, Jay? Yeah, I get that. What about you, Jay?
Yeah, first is bad. You don't want to be first. The only redeeming thing about first is then when you get done with your set, you can stay for 4 or 5 more people because you don't want to dip right after you're done because it's kind of a douche move. And then you still get the rest of your night. You get to go home and sleep for work and all that. But generally, you don't want to go first because, and I don't particularly have developed this skill very well yet because I don't have like this massive joke bank to go to and where I get to choose exactly what jokes I'm going to do. But I think for me, I would like to be like 4th or 5th because I can kind of see who's laughing, who's not, what jokes work for that the other guys are doing, what's not. So I can kind of make a little bit of an adjustment to what kind of stuff I want to do. I think if you were really good, you definitely want to go last because you're gonna read your audience while you're sitting in it or in the green room or whatever it is, and then you're gonna be able to change what you do to have a really good set. So I think that's part of why going later is better. But I would say 4th or 5th also because, like I said, I'm not gonna leave when I'm done because I want to support the other comics. So I'm gonna stick around for at least 3 or 4 other people, So but time is a factor when you got a day job and you wake up at 7 a.m. You can't be out there till midnight. And
7 a.m. I get up at 3:30, yo.
yeah. So
what do you? That's crazy.
So you're like third. Is that considered second shift of your job or third?
What do you do?
Look, I get it. Well, I got to be that. Look, my job has changed. Look, I started as a pothead puller, right? I started going in at 8 o'clock, and I'd be done by 4 o'clock. That was my job, and then I ended up being the goddamn manager, supervisor, and they pushed me to 4 a.m.
Like all of a sudden, you just woke up and you were the manager. You had nothing to do with it, right? Sorry.
Well, there was
This is funny. I find it funny. Sorry.
Obviously, there's stuff involved where the one dude left. He ended up, and they put me in charge because they like how I work. They like my work ethic. So they put me in the position is what it was. So it wasn't overnight. It was over a period of time. But at the same time, I ended up being this where my hours went from I'm going there at 8 to I have to be there at 4. And so I started going there, super early, but I ended up pushing it back. So I go in at about 5:30, but I still get up early just because I don't like to get up and rush. So I get up, make some coffee, you know what I mean? But I get up like 3:30 in the morning and get there about 5:30 because I leave here about 5.
Oh wow!
So I make my
That's wow. When you said 3:30, I thought you meant 3:30 p.m. I thought you got up and then you went.
Oh my god!
I never thought 3:30 a.m.
He cracks me up, man. This freaking guy, he cracks me up. Of course it was a.m., dude. Why would it be useful if it wasn't fucking a.m.?
There's times
I love him so much. He's so sweet.
Me and Cool C have done the podcast. Look, we'll go do comedy on Wednesday. Come back, do the podcast. He leaves. I get to bed at 1 o'clock. I'm up at 3:45 or some shit. Because at that time, I'm like, fuck it, I'm going a little bit late. So I fucking get up at like 3:45 and run and get through that fucking day, which is usually a 12-hour goddamn day. And then I come home, and sometimes I'll go out on Thursday, but sometimes I don't. You know what I mean? It's a wrap. So, it's rough.
Yeah.
It's rough.
So it's like a little over an hour. Are you guys still good to go, or do you want to wrap it up? What do you? Okay, all right.
I'm good.
I have to go to the bathroom. That's why I asked the question. You guys cool?
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, I'm good.
I'll talk to Justin. Just I'll tell her when she walks through the door.
Yep. Yeah, I had to keep changing my. I got my earbuds charging. You know me, I don't care.
So
I
let
talk.
me do some like demographic pedigree stuff. Justin Fuller,
Okay.
how old are you?
I'm 46 years old.
Okay, we're very close in age. I'm 45,
Okay, yeah,
and
yeah. When's your birthday? What month is your birthday?
January
Hmm. January what?
4th.
Okay, my buddies, this is I think the third. The third, I believe.
Capricorn. Capricorn.
Yeah, my buddy Mike. This is in Jan. My other buddies is the 15th, I believe.
Okay. What
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
what month and day? What sign are you?
I'm a Taurus, April 25th. Fucking Al Pacino got my birthday.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
I've
Do you
looked
know
on
anybody else
Wikipedia
with
and
a birthday?
nobody cool. I looked. Nobody cool has my birthday. They're like
Yo, I've met.
somebody you might have heard of once has my birthday. Like I don't even remember his name, but I was like, wait, I recognize that one name. Like it's just not. Maybe it's reserved for me. We don't know. Maybe I'll be the most
Yeah,
famous January 4th guy ever. Who knows?
nothing wrong with that, man.
Do you
'Cause there
have
was this
any?
girl.
Do you have any siblings, brothers or sisters?
I do. I have a brother and two sisters.
Brother and two sisters.
I got
Okay,
I got
so
I got an older brother, an older sister, and a younger sister. She was the oops child. She was 10 years younger than me.
oops child. Kerri was the oops child. Same thing.
Oh shit! Oh shit! That was a drunken night. And my
Makeup
dad probably had
sex.
like a bowling meeting or some shit, a bowling banquet. He got hammered. My mom got lucky.
That's hilarious. Yeah.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
first off, you two are so sweet. I go to the bathroom, go pee, and you're asking each other like, "What's your sign?" That is so cute.
Ah!
That is
Well,
so
yes,
cute.
he asked how
Oh
old I
my
was,
lord.
and
That
they
is so
got into all that other shit. I don't know
Right.
how
cute. That is
cute
so.
it is.
I hear. I'm a Capricorn. What are you, Justin?
Ah!
Listen,
That is
listen.
What are
Brutus!
It's
Come
not.
on.
What are you,
Listen,
Justin? What are
you
you?
can't.
What's your sign? Yeah, I want to know his sign. What's your sign?
I'm a Taurus. I'm a Taurus.
Taurus.
Yeah.
Okay. Capricorn and Taurus. I just thought it was so cute. I'm literally peeing and going, "That's adorable." They're really
Well,
touching
I
your
don't know.
signs. I'll
Listen,
shut
the
up.
horoscope
That is
thing.
hilarious.
You
That is
can't ever
hilarious.
hang your hat on like horoscope stuff, but it's also not entirely and completely bullshit. There is a grain of truth to the month you were born and your sign and your behavior. Now, you can't extrapolate like, oh, you're this sign, so you're going to act like this. It doesn't work like that. But like the stuff in the
Okay.
paper is all bullshit. Like,
I'll
oh,
tell you
you're a
what.
Leo, so today don't make any
But
new friends because they'll stab you in the back. Like that's totally stupid. But there is a correlation. There is a minor correlation between your sign and your behavior. That is true, in my
I agree.
opinion.
What I agree. What you were gonna say, Justin?
I was just gonna say, I'll tell you what, there was this fucking birthday book on fucking every day of what day you were born and how you would be. And I read my shit. I was on LSD at the time, obviously, many years ago, reading this, and I'm like, what the fuck? They
It
know
made sense,
exactly.
man.
Right,
They know
right.
exactly
Like,
who the fuck I am. It's crazy. It's amazing.
they saw me
It's
coming on day
amazing.
one. What the shit?
What the fuck? I'm stubborn. I say all types of silly shit. I don't know, but that book, hey, it was fucking weird as shit. But I invite
Right.
anybody to go check out this birthday book, and I'll tell you what, it's freak you the fuck out. Believe that.
I love it. I love
Mm,
No, that's
amazing.
if you I
That's
know
a joke. That's a
they got
joke.
that
You didn't just
they
say
got the
that.
farmer's almanac,
Okay, son.
and it's like it catalogs like what year and the weather and the crops and all that, and like then everything. I'm convinced, and no one can ever tell me otherwise. Everything in life is a cycle. It's
I
all a
love you.
cycle. It starts
Yep.
at one point. it comes around to the same point. The economy, the weather, your life, your kids, your parents, it all works in a cycle. It's not a straight line, it's a circle. That's how I genuinely feel. And I think if you look at like statistics and stuff like that, that's stuff spot on. That you're born, you have kids, your parents grow old, you grow old, and then when you die, your kids are right at the back of the same spot in the cycle that you were when your parents died. It just works like that.
I think it's kind of funny. He's talking about our dream book, and you bring up the almanac, basically. No, that's not funny. Sorry.
Shout out to my farmers out there.
It doesn't matter. It's still facts. It's shit you read and you're like, what the fuck? It makes sense.
See, that's why I don't do comedy.
Well, there's more.
Comedy. I thought it was funny. No,
that's correlation. You know what I'm saying? There's correlation.
It's the best is when you're not trying to be funny and people laugh at you. That's what makes you feel the best.
That's when you get off the rip. That's when I go off the cuff. But I can't do it because I swear too much, and I can't do it at places where you can't be cursing comedy.
Yeah, I always thought. Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, I apologize. I didn't.
No.
I came in on the sibling conversation, so I didn't know. But you finish your thought, and then we'll go back to it, Jay, if you want.
He has if I remember correctly, an older brother, an older sister, and a younger sister.
Gotcha. Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're somewhere in the middle.
I was the third child. We were all 2 years apart. So I was born in 1978. My sister is 1976. My brother is 1974. My other sister was born in 1988. She was
no, go ahead. Go.
Oopsie.
You know, I was gonna say. It's crazy because my family structure, the way it is my older brother is he's named after my father. Obviously he was the one that was
golden boy.
Textbook fucking how you're supposed to be. He was my dad loved baseball. My brother was a fucking outstanding baseball player. You know what I'm saying? He did everything. His schoolwork was fucking honors. He got a scholarship to go play high school and fucking went to college, got his degree. He's a goddamn physical therapist. Fucking my brother is the fucking textbook on how you're supposed to be as a person in life.
Right?
Okay.
My sister is my father in a female body.
Jason, this is weird. Right?
Do you let me ask you, Justin, do you have any children?
I have a son.
Does he go ahead?
I was gonna say he's 26 years old.
Okay.
Awesome.
So you were 20 when you had him?
I was 19.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And are you at this point in your life?
Hold on, I gotta find the thing so I can plug in my shit.
Mm-hmm.
Give me one second.
No problem.
Yeah, take your time.
I can still hear you.
We'll edit it out and post.
It's kind of wild, man. Like, there's a lot of similarities between like his family and like mine, right?
And yours. Yep, absolutely.
It's wild.
Really? Get the fuck out of
Older
here.
brother was a junior.
Well,
Kevin was a junior. They were both good at baseball. His
golden
younger sister was a
child.
oopsie. You're the oopsie.
I'm
Yeah.
the oopsie. In 1976, he said his sister was born in 76, I believe. Same shit.
But
I'm
not
an
but
oopsie.
not his oopsie sister.
Oh,
No, not my
no,
oopsie
oopsie.
sister.
Yeah.
No,
She
she
was
was born in
born
88.
88.
Yeah, she was born in 88. Yeah, that's why. It was 10 years after me. It was 10 years after me. That's why she was the
I would love to meet her. I would love to meet her because
She's
I
awesome.
guarantee.
She's
She
like,
is.
I'll tell you what, I told her because she's got my personality. I mean, she has a lot of everybody, but I mean, I'll tell you what, I've rubbed off. She's pretty. I told her you could rule the world if you wanted to. You fuck. with the mentality you have, but she's content doing what she does. And,
But
So let me.
I love that. I love that. That's so cool because she has all these other siblings that protect her no matter what. I'm
Oh
the
yeah,
youngest too.
100%.
I'm the youngest too. And the
Oh,
thing is, like,
she's gotten the wrath. Don't get it twisted. She tried to come home when she was younger and all, but yeah, no,
oh,
she's got protection everywhere. Yeah, for sure.
exactly. I always have
So
protection, but I always know, like, I'm the one that's going to mess up, right? Like, I'm always the one they're going, oh, we got to protect her. I love that. I would love to meet her
Oh
one day.
no,
Go ahead, Jason. Sorry.
but I'm the black sheep. The problem is I've always been the one that's always done some gotten in some shit and been the
Mm,
one that they're like, what's Justin
yeah.
doing? Why is he doing this? Why is he
that
doing that? But he's not,
that's
you
a good
know.
dynamic because you're in the
I
middle
smoke
somewhere.
I smoke a lot of marijuana, and boy, that was not a good thing in the family. You know
That's
that.
not what they were hoping you would do. I get it.
when did when did you
Not the
start
best
smoking?
thing.
When did
When
you
I was
start?
20.
Just 20?
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, I was
Yeah.
thinking you were gonna say when I was 13. I love
Oh,
that.
I was gonna be a fucking undercover narcotics motherfucking bad boy, Martin Lawrence type motherfucking, like a Will Smith character, and I love bad boys. So get this
I want
shit. Me and my buddy who actually did that shit. We both went to school. I went for criminology. I ended up dropping out. He ended up going and continuing, and he ended up being undercover narcotics. He was doing all types of crazy shit like that, and meanwhile, I didn't do it. I ended up smoking. I dropped out of college. I was driving a school bus. And that's why I ended up joining the military when I was 20. But I mean, when I was 25. But when I was 20 is when the first time I smoked weed. Yeah.
Oh
Mhm.
my
Yeah,
god.
I never
Right?
smoked till I was 20 either. Actually,
Yeah.
Oh, you guys
I
are so
fell in love with it.
sweet.
I'll tell you that. I fell in love with it. Every bit of it.
I
I'm like, because it makes you think outside the box. I felt like you saw things differently. And it's just, and then I
and
realized it's not as bad as people said it was. You know what I'm
not at
saying?
all.
And that's the
Yeah.
problem. That's the problem with all this bullshit in this world is motherfuckers lied from the beginning.
Right.
And when
And
you
for
realize
me,
that on your
That
own,
is true.
it's
That is
tough.
true. Yeah, I
Okay.
understand.
what
Yeah.
what I found about marijuana that I really liked when I started smoking it was I felt much happier. B, it kind of slowed things down to where you could really enjoy each moment, and you can't. It's hard to do that when you're sober. So it kind of took away not my inhibitions. I was still myself, but it made me feel like I can be myself more.
Right.
Like when you're drunk, you're
Well,
gonna
it's
say stuff that
inhibitions.
you really feel that you shouldn't because you're just like fuck it. Like drunk is
Fuck it.
more like fuck
Fuck
it. This is me.
it.
But when you're
Yep.
high on
Right.
weed, to me, it always felt like I would be making my sister and brother-in-law laugh, and we'd be watching Half Baked and like Friday and like cracking up, laughing. Like it was just, it really just slowed things down to where you could really appreciate the
Hmm.
moment. Now I
Well,
don't,
yeah.
I don't.
Yeah. It slows it shows your inhibitions.
I
It
equivalent
does.
to this.
Go
This is
ahead.
my this is the best way I say it. I smoke every day, all day, and lunch break,
I
stay
love
long,
it. Cause I drink all
whatever.
fucking day on the weekend, man. I fucking love it. Go ahead.
I don't know how you do that. Once I start drinking alcohol, I'm fucking done. I don't do shit.
Yeah,
But
me too.
when I smoke, which isn't bad, but when I smoke, I'll go to the gym. I'll do everything. You know what
I
I'm saying?
love it.
But the thing is, on my way to work, the difference is instead of being mad at the person that cut me off, I say, "Go ahead, it's
That's
okay.
really cool.
I'm in no
Yeah.
Right.
hurry." You
That's
know what
really
I'm saying?
cool. I do. I
Whatever.
Yeah.
do.
Go ahead. Instead of
I
being mad, I back off. There's a difference. You know what I'm saying? There's a completely different mindset when I smoke because I ain't gonna say I have anger
Yeah.
issues. I've been through a lot. I ain't gonna say I have anger issues. I may have little anger issues. I try not to because I smoke marijuana. And I do that because it's natural and the God put it here, although they created it in the lab and they perfected it. So I smoke it even more. But the Lord put it here for us. It just grows. It's a plant. There ain't nothing wrong with it.
Well,
And they demonized it from the beginning
I
because of
will
other
say,
shit.
I
Yeah.
will say, let me tell you this. There's a guy I know who used to be a cop, and he is like hardcore Republican, very conservative, very keeping up with the Joneses. I got what you don't got. I'm doing better than you type of mindset. Kind of a dick. And he was a cop for many years. But
Those motherfuckers.
I at one point when I was a drug addict and I needed work and I was depressed about my business failing, and they're like, no, you can work with him. And I'm like, okay, I mean, yeah, I need money, but like I don't want to because whatever. But I will say he told me, no, when you're a cop, you do not want to pull over a drunk guy because it sucks because they're combative, they're an asshole, they don't cooperate, they're a dick. Guys smoking weed? Hell yeah. They're like, where are you going? Taco Bell to get some food. Like they're like totally chill. Like, and that really is. I heard weed got legalized in the first state, which I think was Colorado, because a guy that grew a weed farm there challenged a guy, you do a shot, I'll smoke a joint, and let's see who's more straight
He's so sweet.
after a couple hours. And obviously the guy that was smoking is just like, it's cool. And the guy that was drinking a shot every 10 minutes or whatever it was is on his ass and he can't drive, he can't function. Right.
Nope.
And that's a very legitimate distinction between the two substances. Yep. And I think sometimes that gets overlooked and people think, well, it's a drug and drugs are evil. But they're really not. I mean, okay, I feel
the ones we
opioids
were, yes.
Opioids and crack are kind of evil.
Everything in moderation. Everything in moderation.
You're right.
Anything in moderation. Look, in college,
let him talk. Let him talk, Jay.
In college, we read the story. It was in my philosophy class. It was this chick who lived to be like 90-some years old, and every day after work, she came home and did heroin. Now, I'm not saying this is a good thing. I'm not promoting heroin. I'm not saying that people should do that. I'm just saying anybody who is in control of their life and knows what limits they have, if they like something, bothering nobody, who am I to say that that's a bad thing? And that's the problem that a lot of people in society don't have. They don't have that vision of, okay, it ain't hurting you. What the fuck is the problem with her? Now, if she's overdoing it and fucking her life up and doing some shit and trying to go out there and selling her body or pissing on herself and doing some fucked up shit and fucking finding some place and waking up in wrong places and, you know what I mean? Then that's bad. Then it's fucking bad. But that's anything with alcohol, with fucking people who fucking smoke too much weed and don't do shit with their lives. But trust me, if you smoke indica, you ain't doing a goddamn thing.
Are you saying that the girl with heroin, like she was able to like
live a happy, normal life? That's what she does. She went to work. She lived to 90 years old. She would do a little bit of heroin at the end of the night. Like somebody would come home and drink a little fucking wine at the end of the day and just chill on the back.
And do heroin. She did heroin too.
No, all she would do is do her heroin. She would just come home and do her shit, and she would just chill. And I guess
just take the fucking edge off. I love that.
That's what she did.
That was me, Jay. That was me. Yeah.
It wasn't.
Ahead, sorry.
It's not, like I said, it's not a thing that's it's not like, because I know what the drug does. I know what it is. I know it's bad. I have a personal experience because somebody in my wife had issues, and so I know what it does to people, and I know it's not a good thing. But at the same time, who am I to judge if somebody knows how to handle their own personal life and that's something they chose? I like marijuana. My dad doesn't. But he doesn't fuck with me now because of my life and where I'm at in my life, and he sees it's not fucking my life up. I'm not allowing it to fuck me up because I'm still doing shit. I'm fucking doing good at my job. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. You know what I mean? It's not nothing that's fucking me up where I don't do anything.
Yes.
So who am I to judge? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I do
Okay.
understand, and
So
go ahead, Jay. Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
so I think something I learned when I was in treatment after I got out of county was that they repeat the phrase, you have realized that your life is no longer manageable. And that resonated with me with opiates because my life wasn't. It was a train wreck.
Right.
It was bad. I owned a car that I couldn't drive because the temp tags were expired. I would borrow Kerri's car to work at Domino's and then steal from them because I'm smart enough to do so and not get caught. And then go see the dealer and it was very bad. My life was not manageable. It was a train wreck. So
And
I'll
I
tell you
was
what,
fine with
though.
that. By the
I'll
way,
tell you what,
I
though.
was an addict too, and I was totally fine with it. I was an addict
I,
too. As long as he
I
got the
mean,
drugs, I was cool.
but the
So
thing is, he was managing that shit, so you're a goddamn fucking art. I mean, people who want shit get shit. It's crazy. It's not a good way to look at it. It's not a
it's
good way to
not.
look at it.
It's
Not a
not.
good way to look at it.
Our
But
children.
you
We always
uh,
kept our
I
children.
guess
Go
I
ahead,
guess
Jason.
yeah, we never lost our kids. We always had a place to live. There was always food. Even if I brought home pizza every night from Domino's, there was always food. The
right.
closest thing I can equate it to you is Jordan played that game with the flu and actually did really well. So there was
Fucking
a,
did
there
the
was
best
a
game of his life.
there was a handicap there that I overcame because I didn't want to change my lifestyle because I was
Right.
so far in it and so afraid of being dope sick that I
Yes.
didn't see how it could be any different. Because
Well,
I'm telling you the truth right now on fentanyl, and this is when I was snorting it. I vomited once about every 7 to 8 minutes for literally hours. Hours. I would drink water so I could vomit something. That's how bad the withdrawal is. That's how bad it is when you get that deep into
Yeah.
opioids to
It's
where
horrible.
my life, I was clearing a few hurdles with that handicap, but I was miserable. I remember my stepdad asking me to get the leaves out of the backyard. And rather than use a rake, I was grabbing them with my hands and I was
Yes.
crying as I put them in a
Yes.
garbage can so they could get taken to the curb because I was so sad in my heart that
Yes.
I felt
Yes.
life is not worth living. But I
Yeah.
won't end my life
I won't
because I have
disappoint
Kerri and
you.
the kids, but I I'm defeated.
yeah.
I'm so defeated by this situation that
Yeah.
I literally the only cure for me being unhappy is to do what makes me unhappy. And that's a
Right.
nightmare. When your only solution is to dig yourself deeper in this hole that you feel you have no way out of.
Well,
So while I have a felony, I'm fine with that because that was the best thing for me to
yeah. Yeah.
go somewhere where I could not cop, I couldn't hurt myself. I realized how bad I fucked up and I had a lot of time to think about why I was there. So I changed because there's no reason anyone can't change if that's what they want. And they do
Oh
when
yeah.
that's what they want. When
It's
someone
when
else
they
wants
want
it,
to do it.
Right. What,
it's
Jason?
different.
I was gonna say, yeah, you could tell somebody, hey, you need to change, but it has to be within that person. You know what I'm saying? You could tell somebody,
Absolutely.
and it's tough when you see somebody going through some shit, and everybody's like, well, fucking do this, do this, do this, do this. You can tell everybody all
Yeah.
you want, because I feel bad. Look, I was pain pills, hydrocodone was my friend. I used to pop like
Nice.
Yeah.
5 of them bitches and go out and drink and be fucking chill, yo. I used to be out. It took me to go
Yeah.
up to 5, but my back. It started because my back issues. Coming back from overseas, I had back issues, carrying all
Same
that
thing.
shit, all that gear. My body was broken down, but I was able to get some shit from the VA.
Mm-hmm.
I take it. It didn't help, but I'd still go out. But boy, I like how that shit made me feel. You know what I'm saying? So I would pop a couple more just because, hey, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? And luckily,
Exactly.
I know my body does. I don't know what it is. Alcohol, I'm not a big drinker. You know, I've started drinking bourbon more because of vampires. My wife be watching that shit, and all they do is drink fucking bourbon. So I'm like, let me drink some bourbon and walk around my bathrobe, see what happens. But I'll have a few drinks when I'm out. You'll see me, you know, when I'm out, Jason. I have a few Heinekens. That's it. I have a few Heinekens, and I'm chill. You know what I mean? And that's all I drink when I'm out because I don't like to get too fucked up because I know what alcohol does. You know what I mean? It does lower
Yeah.
them. It lowers the fucking movement. You're judging. I tell you what, I get more amped up, but that's why I keep my shit steady with marijuana. I keep level. You know what I mean? I've
Yeah.
been through a lot, I don't like to be hyped up. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Yeah.
when I'm out, I observe the situation because I'm a trained soldier.
Yeah, I think
But I
that's
try to have fun. I try to have fun. You know what I'm saying?
yes.
But were you there that night when this motherfucker walked through and he was like, pow, 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 like just walking through, acting like he was shooting people? It was a weird night at the Funny Stop. Were you there that night?
No.
No, I wasn't there.
No. What happened?
Boy, we were there. There was not a lot of people. There was this guy there. He was sitting there. He was just acting weird. And he got up. He was talking. He got up and he was just walking around like he was just shooting people. You know what I mean? It, no big
Whoa.
threat. No big
That's
threat. But it was weird. It was fucking
that
weird. It's like,
Yeah,
why the
it
dude's
is
on
weird.
something? He was on something, obviously. You know what I'm saying? And we're just watching.
Yeah.
Me and Cool C were checking him out, and we're just like watching him and everything. Because you know where we sit, back with our
Yeah.
backs to the wall. Ain't nobody sneaking up
Yeah.
on us
Yeah.
in this bitch. I got to
yes,
see
Yeah.
you do.
everything.
Yes.
So
Yes.
so so we were watching everything, and you know, I realized he wasn't a threat, but at the same time, you got to be observant and see what the fuck, because you don't know what people are on and what they're doing and capable of. They could walk in and do some silly shit like that. You know what I mean? And
Mhm.
Right.
it's just weird.
If this is your dry
Yeah.
run, I should probably observe who you aim at first
Yeah.
so I can take you out when your back is to me
It's,
or whatever, like that is some weird shit.
yeah,
It's
that's
crazy.
freaking weird. That's
You know, but
wild.
but but I try not to have those feelings. You know what I mean? I try not to. When I'm out, I try to enjoy myself. I know there's shit out there. I've been a victim of gun violence. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
So,
I've been
wait,
shot before. You know what I
Really, I want
mean?
to
yeah,
hear about that. I want to hear about that.
yeah. We
Go.
want to hear not the joke form. What's the real story? Because when you're on stage, you tell it as a joke, but
Yeah.
obviously
Well, I mean, well, the
there's
real.
a story.
Yeah, there's a story. I mean, I don't get into the details because
Okay.
they haven't found anybody yet.
Oh,
You know
okay.
what I mean?
Okay.
I haven't
Gotcha.
gotten any word they found who did it or anything like
Mm.
that. So
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
try not to get into the details of the situation. But I was at work. I was doing a job. It was broad daylight, and somebody tried to rob me. And it was basically point blank, and it got me right here. And
Wow.
and I was like this. So you think about the distance between this and where it hit me, but it went through here, fractured my rib, and it stayed off to the side. Now, if it misses the rib, it hits my lung. If it goes up here, it hits me in the neck.
Shit.
Yeah,
A lot of things that you think about after the fact. But luckily, it did what it did. It hit me in the rib, and it bounced off. And adrenaline is a crazy thing. You're able
yeah.
to. I was able to get out of the situation. Luckily, my I go back to my. I don't know what it is. Maybe it was my training throughout the military. But when it happened, I was
Oh, I'm sure.
cool, calm, and collective, figuring out a way out of the situation. It didn't go the way I planned. I got shot. I still was able to get out of the situation and get back to safety and get back
Yeah,
and get
It,
taken care of. So it worked out in all. The crazy thing is, and I say this all the time because I don't give a fuck. It's crazy, and I'll say it till the day. I don't know what happened. I don't know what time it was, but I always see 1, 2, 3, 4. It happened at least afternoon, It had to have been around that time, and it happened on the same day, not the same year, but the same day my grandfather passed away.
That's wild.
Wow.
Fucking crazy.
That is.
Yeah.
Can I ask one question? And it's gonna
Yep.
sound so stupid and so blonde and naive.
Go ahead.
Of course, I've never been shot, but I've always wondered how painful it is.
I'll tell you what. I joke
Seriously,
about
scale
it.
to
I
one to
joke.
10.
I
What,
joke
He
about
does.
it.
He
I
does.
joke
I'm
about it.
sorry. I'm
It felt like it
sorry.
bounced. I felt like I was a superhero. I saw it bounce right off me because
Oh, because
I
your
felt
adrenaline.
adrenaline is a motherfucker. I knew I got hit. That's all I know. I knew I got hit.
How do you know? How do you know that? Tell me. Can you tell me how?
Well,
In your
it's
brain,
just
can you tell me how?
I
It's
just
amazing.
because when I was like this, he shot through the window. The window was up. He shot through the window, and it just 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 felt
And,
it. Just something hit you. You just
and
boom.
what did
I
it make
just
you
felt
feel
it.
like? Ooh, what was that? Like a bee sting? Like ooh.
No, because automatically at this point, the whole thing, my adrenaline's kicking. As soon as I seen the gun pointed at me, my adrenaline's boom. How do I get out of this
Oh,
situation?
So
okay.
wait.
You
So
saw the
wait.
Boom.
gun
So
first. You saw the gun
so
first.
Oh
time
well,
out.
I'm sitting there. Yeah.
So
I
so
like it.
you're in
I
your
love it.
car.
We
You're
are
in your
white and
car.
we have never experienced this. So go
I'm in
ahead.
my work vehicle. I'm in my work vehicle. A truck.
Okay. So you're in
I'm
your
in a
okay.
truck.
That's fine. You're in your
Yeah.
worst vehicle. You're what city? What are you in a good area or bad area?
I'm in Cleveland. I'm not
Cleveland.
gonna
Okay.
say
So
where. I'm not gonna say where, but I'm in
I would
Cleveland.
say Cleveland
Fine.
is this a more sketchy area than say we live in Bedford. Where do you live?
Yeah, yeah. I'm in Parma. Yeah, it wasn't that.
Parma. Okay, so
Okay, fine.
Parma and Bedford are less sketchy than Cleveland for people viewing this whenever.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
If
yeah.
you say I got robbed in Bedford or I got robbed in Parma, people won't go, well, that's impossible. But if you say you got
Right.
robbed
It
in
makes
Yeah.
Cleveland, they're
okay.
like,
Right. Right.
why
Right.
are you
Right.
in
Right.
Cleveland? Like, what are you doing
Okay.
over there? Like,
I, I tell you
never,
what,
never mind.
where I got shot. I looked it up on the computer, and there was all types of fucking red dots. I'm like,
Right,
God damn.
right.
It's so funny.
So, so you're
No.
in your car. Is that because you were working in that neighborhood and you got in your car to go home, or were you
No, 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 no.
arriving to work?
No, I was in a work vehicle. I was making a delivery, and I just got
Okay,
done. It was my last stop. I was done for the day, basically, just sitting in my truck, thinking, okay, I'm done. I just got to do my. I was doing my paperwork, sitting there, thinking I'll go back, unload, go to the gym. Bam, day's over. I'm out. It's early.
yeah,
2 o'clock.
yeah.
Great.
And
You know?
we're not grilling you. I promise. I don't want you to
Oh
feel that
no,
way.
I'm talking
We
about my
are
life.
so
I don't have no problem.
him. Okay, thank you.
No
I just want to
worries.
say him and I are so suburban that to this is fucking interesting. You're the only person I have ever met that has been fucking shot. Like seriously. So that's where we're coming from.
Yeah, no
Just so
worries.
you know, okay?
I'm
Like
blessed. Hey, I'm on
that's
borrowed
why
time.
I
This
am
is
like I'm
exciting
like
to me.
this
I'm on borrowed
listening
time.
to
Let's
you.
do it. What are we talking about? I don't give
No,
a
I'm
fuck.
just
This is
saying,
life.
like, I'm like, oh my God, what's going on?
It's
And I know
crazy.
there's some
Yep.
things I know there's some things you don't want to say, and that's fucking cool. But like,
There's
that's
just
why
details, just certain details I won't give out, but at the same time, I'll talk about the experience. You know, it's
I
just like,
love,
'cause,
yeah,
I
I
mean,
love that. It's so
what
fucking
are we doing?
gangster. It's so gangster, and it's so
No, it's
gangster
But
that
it's like,
I
okay,
I love that.
okay. But here's the thing: like, the only people that want to be called gangsters aren't gangsters. Like, there's no
Oh,
like, oh wow, you
yeah.
got
I mean,
arrested and went to jail. Like, yeah,
yeah,
and no,
I get it.
that sucks. You got shot. Oh, that's so
yeah.
gangster. But like,
I get it.
like, I really wasn't. Like, I didn't want to go to
No,
jail. You didn't want to get
that
shot.
was
Like, see,
I
it's
get
like,
wasn't
it.
the plan.
I get it. My name is Kerri. I'm not gangster. I get it. I just think it's
That
kind of funny.
wasn't
Go ahead.
that wasn't the plan. The only good thing is that I survived. Nothing major happened.
So
I
you're
was able.
truly just like, go ahead. Sorry.
I got pain. I got pain. I got pain. A lot of pain. A lot of things. But I don't let things get to me a certain way that think they should. You know what I'm saying? Life, it happened. I moved on. It was an experience. It's an experience I had to talk about, which I incorporate. I could probably get more into it, and I think people have said I should, but it's like with the time frame, you know what I mean, with our comedy and how it is. It's you try and bring as much funny within set perimeters. So I tried to use
Right.
that without giving detail. There's a lot of things I think
Yeah.
about because it's funny because I talk about when I seen the dude and he was like, "Give me the money." I'm like, "Man, this motherfucker's teeth was better than mine. Ain't that a bitch?" This motherfucker robbing me. I ain't said it on stage, but in my mind, I'm thinking to myself on the details. I'm thinking to myself, I mean, he's not a crackhead. His teeth are fucking clean and shit. I mean, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying?
So it's fucking wild, man. I always
should
want
pack
to
that
tell
right in there, huh?
I always want to tell the joke that you can make a lot of money dealing drugs, but then you got to deal with people on drugs.
Right.
Like,
Yeah,
so it's like a double-edged sword. It's a double-edged sword. So you can make money
100%.
robbing people, but then you actually have to rob people. And
You gotta rob people.
yeah, who wants to do that? And then what happens when you try to do it and fail? That's also really terrible.
And I'll tell you what, man.
Kerri told me a story when we were on pills, and then we decided, man, this sucks. We can't find any pills. And there was this chick she knew from high school who was obviously on smack. And I'm like, maybe if we get some coke, it'll ease the withdrawal from the pills, because it's not as bad as like you're not throwing up and shit, but you're very unhappy.
Yeah,
right.
That's
so we're like, I'm like, and she's like, I could call Michelle, and we knew she's a junkie, she's on smack,
right?
And we knew that, but I'm like, can you ask her if she can get some coke, just we can ease the pain of the withdrawal. Right. We don't want heroin. We want cocaine. You're a junkie. I'm sure the people that deal you your heroin can also get cocaine. Well, lo and behold, she gave us heroin. And that later led us into doing heroin. But I will say, it was
man,
I did.
Hold on, real quick.
Go ahead.
Did none of you overdose?
Yes, he did twice.
I did once.
Oh,
I did one time.
Jason?
One time.
But not that night.
I had to Narcan him twice. Now stop.
But not that night. Not that first time,
no,
though, right?
No.
I mean, because that's some fucked up shit. Because if you don't know you're getting it and you don't know what you know what I'm saying, that was crazy. That's fucked up.
Yes.
Yeah, she's not a good person, and she did us dirty.
But
yeah, that was crazy.
Believe me, I fucking snorted that shit, and I was like, you better fucking believe I'm doing nothing other than this, right? So I was like besties with her.
And I did it, and I had done coke, and it burned, and I'm like, I don't think this is cocaine, because that shit makes you numb, and this shit burned my nostrils.
Right.
In any case, that chick Michelle had this really funny story where she was going to buy off a dude, and he pulled a gun on her, and it was like, well, now you're gonna have sex with me, and she's like, no, I'm not.
Wow,
like he's hilarious. Like he goes from one.
Don't put all this in this.
Like right, he like jumps from one like shit for the other. Like you were talking about a story, and now he's like the fucking like.
I just don't want to put all the details out there. It's crazy.
Right, exactly. Like what? Like,
okay. In my brain.
We're talking about Jason. We're talking about us. Who gives a fuck about her?
Okay.
But it's all good. Just continue your story. It's all. I'm cool with it. I don't want too many details out there. You know, protection.
In my brain, those correlate. because what you think is going to happen doesn't necessarily happen. So just like this guy rolled up on you in your work truck and thought, I'm going to pull a gun. He's going to give me all his money. I'm going to get right. And I'll never have to fire a shot. That's the way it's going to go down. But it didn't go down like that. He did fire a shot. He did damage your body. Like, just like
you know what's crazy? You know what's crazy? It was crazy is because, like you were saying, like with that whole thing with life, dude, and like you were saying with it didn't go the way you planned. I'm sitting there like in the truck in my mind thinking, you gonna jump off? Because in my mind when he approached me, I'm thinking to myself, well, does he got the balls to shoot me? You know what I'm saying?
Right,
so there I'm gambling in myself. I'm thinking, well, does he got the balls to shoot me? Because what the fuck, I ain't, And it's just weird in my mind because I always see the movies. Well, what the fuck? Just drive off. See what happens. So I started driving off, but he didn't fucking.
He didn't drive off, right?
Crazy shit.
Like, did he come up to your window?
Yeah, I don't want to get too many details.
Oh, it's
fine.
It's fine.
It was point blank. It was definitely point blank, and it wasn't.
Christ.
It was. Yeah, you know what I mean. But like I said, you think about that in with like what Jason was saying. The time I was sweeping, I had to get out, and this was hilarious. I probably should put this in a bit, but I was out because it was rainy, and the motherfucking sweeper wouldn't pick up a diaper, so I had to get out and use the thing and pick up a soggy ass fucking diaper that wouldn't get sucked up into my machine. And I'm like, what the fuck am I doing in my life?
Right,
what
right.
The fuck am I doing in my life? You know what I'm saying? I'm sitting here driving the sweeper truck, listening to people living their dreams, doing comedy, fucking going and telling jokes and talking about their shit.
It's not funny. I get it.
And it's like I've seen a lot of headliners, and I'm not pissing on a lot of headliners. I've seen a lot of people do comedy who's been doing it longer than me, and I'll tell you what, I can do it.
Right. Yeah.
I can do it. There's so many people out there that are making money that I don't know fucking who they are, but they're out there selling out clubs. They're out there telling their jokes.
Yeah.
They're out there doing their damn thing, and I'm like, the thing that fucked me up was the 10-year thing, and I'm like, fuck, I'm 43 years old. What? I can't be 53 years old. But then I'm like, well, what the fuck else am I gonna do? What else am I gonna do?
Look how old Rodney Dangerfield was.
100%.
He got popular.
100%.
So you can.
100%. 100%.
Don't stop.
I won't. And that's what kept. That's what my mindset. Well, my mindset was, well, what else am I gonna do? You know what I'm saying? So I go to work every day to pay my bills, so I can have a house and pay for everything and eat and survive. But it gives me no joy in life. What I'm doing gives me no pleasure because it's a mundane every day. Fucking, I could do this anywhere, anytime. I'm good at what I do. I'm the best motherfucking warehouse worker on the planet. One of the best warehouse workers on the planet. No bullshit. I get shit done, handle business with no fucking problems. Work gets done, whatever. It's not a big threat. It's not a flex, but I could do that anywhere is what I'm saying. These jobs are nothing. I've been through a lot more in life.
Right. Time out. Groucho Marx says, I don't want to be a part of any club that will have me, and I don't want to do anything that you can train someone else to do in a month. But when I'm on stage telling my jokes about my life and what I've experienced, you could never get someone else to do that because that's mine. And that's a big distinction. That's a big distinction because literally you couldn't give someone else my jokes. They wouldn't pull them off because they're not me. And that's amazing. That's something to be proud of in my mind.
Absolutely. And that's why I like your comedy, because you truly go up there and you're like, hey, this is me. Like, you don't go up there calmly. They give you the mic and I'm talking about you. You go up there and you're like, hey, this is me. Oh, hey, yeah, I smoked some fucking weed tonight. Like, like you go up there with
Yeah.
energy that is so
Yeah.
fucking cool, and
I
I
try.
fucking no, I fucking love that. I really do. It's so unique and different. I
Appreciate it. That's what I
it's the
try and do.
truth.
I try.
You
I look at it
literally,
like this because I look at it like this because I've always wanted to do it. I said it growing up watching, those
yeah.
my favorites, and I'm like, but at that age, what the hell would I have to talk about? Now where I'm at in life, I have a lot to talk about. I don't even talk about the military. I ain't even brought that up yet.
No, you haven't. I
Yeah.
never
I'm
knew. Right, we never knew that.
The
I
only
love
thing I say
that.
is I'm a veteran. That's the only thing I say, and then my punchline is basically so I smell like marijuana. Like it has nothing to do with, but I just state what people don't know about me, and it was just that little. I throw it in there real quick, but I don't talk about nothing. You know what I mean? Other than that, and I
No.
still haven't.
Yeah.
I'm going to. I just have to figure out. Obviously, I got to write. I've been slacking because I try and that's another thing we could talk about is like material wise is that so Jason, how much time do you have at this point in the game? You've been
I
going
I
about a
can
year and a half.
I can do a great 7 minutes, but I can't do 10
Okay.
because it's very hard to balance writing new jokes, trying new jokes, and making them as good as what the jokes I have that are really good.
Right.
And
The ones that kill.
of that 7 minutes,
Okay.
2 minutes in there are jokes that should be better that I'm still working on. So it's a very
Okay.
hard thing to
So how
develop
many
that
minutes?
craft because you need to be
Right.
good enough that people laugh and you get that feedback and the energy. But like if you go up there and you try all new material that you've never tried, you'll get some like I feel I'll get some laughs doing that. But at the same time, the people are never going to follow me on Instagram because it just seems like I'm a guy that has only been doing it for like 3 months.
So
Now I can
Right.
go up there.
How many minutes? How many minutes?
I feel I could do 7 minutes, and
That's good.
I would kill it. I would
Okay.
do really well.
That's really cool,
I can
man.
do 5 minutes,
All right,
and I
7
could kill
minutes
it and
is
do
the
really
answer.
well. But if I had 10
7
minutes, yeah, if I had 10 minutes, I wouldn't be able to go up there and I'd be stretching shit. I'd be trying jokes that aren't right quite there yet. It's very difficult to have confidence in a joke that you tried to tell that people didn't laugh at. And you know there's
Right.
funny in there, but maybe a word is off, or maybe the punchline is too early, or the setup is not long. Like it's so
A
new.
lot of it's
It's
could be
so nuanced.
delivery.
So
So
listen, Jason.
and then
Jason.
that's before you look at what the crowd might find funny, how many people are there, how many of the people are there, or other comics
Right.
that don't really like to laugh for whatever reason. You think
That
I want a crowd
But
of 50 comics. If you've never done it, that would be your ideal crowd because these are people that are funny and they know funny. It's the opposite. I want 50 people that have never been on stage because
right.
they don't understand if I do something slightly wrong and they're there to laugh. Whereas other stand-ups
Right.
waiting for their turn will hold back their
Mhm.
laughter because they don't want to. They think it's a
that
competition, and it's not. Everyone can
Yep.
be funny at an open mic, at a set,
yeah,
Yep. That's the
no, you're
point.
right.
That's the point. It's all about being
Yeah,
funny.
it
I don't
is.
give a fuck.
Yes.
I don't give a fuck what if you get laughs or not. Good. Good. I
Yes.
hope you get a
Yeah,
bunch of laughs. That's the better for
yeah,
the fucking night. It's good.
It's
Thank you.
right,
right.
It's
right.
fun. I got
7
no
minutes.
problems with it.
Right. Like 7 minutes is fucking awesome, man. I understand what you're saying. Like, that's because you're thinking of the click too much, right? Like, there's a
Yeah,
lot of
yeah.
click. You know what I'm
Look,
saying?
me and Cool C talk about it all the time, man. We ride with people who ride with us. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
let's talk
saying?
about that if you have
We
time.
of course.
All
I'm
right,
I'm
sweet.
good.
Let's go.
I'm
Go.
good. Yeah.
Good.
It's a Cool C to give you an hour. I'll talk fucking Joe Rogan time until somebody opens the door and says it's time fucking for me to be done.
No, I love it.
Yeah.
All night. I love it.
But
All
no,
right,
yeah,
there's
we
clicks.
talk
There's
about
clicks.
we talk about it all the time, and the worst thing is like it's funny because in high school there's cliques, and I was always that guy that floated between cliques, so it didn't bother me. You know what I mean? Like certain people perform everywhere, certain places. I perform fucking wherever. I don't care. I go on any
Yeah.
side of Cleveland. I go on any side wherever. I'll go up and show up. And the worst thing was about the funny stop is in the beginning, I go in and we say hi to everybody. Hey, 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 hey. And then people start acting weird. It's like, what the fuck, man? What are we talking about here? Why? I mean, like they would just see me outside of the funny stop and wouldn't say nothing. I'd see people at the Agora and they wouldn't fucking talk to me, and I'm like, what the fuck? And they'd be with somebody else who's higher in comedy or some bullshit and think they gotta be fucking somebody special. And it's like, motherfucker,
Yeah.
we're in the same fucking spots. I know you've been doing it longer than me, but let's keep it real. I've seen your set too. It's like you're not blowing shit up. You're funny. Ha, kudos. You say some funny shit, but ain't nobody fucking killing everything. You know what I
Well,
mean? It's
well,
None.
yeah.
it's
None
At
fun.
least,
city.
at least you're coming up with new jokes. I've gone there. I'm the outsider looking in, and I look at Jason sometimes and can look at him and tell I speak the joke he's about to say. Like, come with some
Ain't nothing
fucking
wrong
new
with that.
jokes. But
It's
it's
tough though
like,
because
I mean,
no, but
you know,
because hold
no.
on,
What
hold
I'm
on.
upset with it is because those are the same motherfuckers that when he walked in, they treat him like an asshole.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But
That's
the
what makes
thing
it
is,
offensive.
but the
Because
beautiful thing, yeah,
go
I
ahead,
know, I
go
get it.
ahead.
The beautiful thing about the beautiful thing about the craft is Jerry Seinfeld, and I'm not saying anybody around us is Jerry Seinfeld. I'm just saying before he did the Tonight Show, he did his set 100 times around the state, around the city and this and that. And you, not just that, I guarantee he's practiced that set plenty of other times and his
Hmm.
material other times, and just it's a repetition thing. It's the beautiful thing about the art is you want to deliver it like you're
Hmm.
not reading it, like you're saying it, like it's the first time, like it's personal to them, and you're because how many times, Jason? I'm gonna comic to comic. How many times you phoned that motherfucker in because it's like this many people. I go up there, tell my jokes, get my rep in. You know what I mean? But lately
yeah.
I've had to, bring it. I don't give a fuck if there's 10 people. I'll try and do my set like there's a packed house. You know what I'm saying? And you got to forget
Yeah.
about all the other motherfucking noise and the people in the fucking bar,
Yeah.
loud, disrespectful, not fucking sitting there watching your set. You know what I mean? Just fucking acting like they're better,
Hmm.
blah, blah, blah. It's not about them. It's about you.
Yeah.
You gotta, we talk about it all the time. You get caught up in everything in this fucking thing
Yeah.
within, these people, this people, these shows. I'm not on this show. You don't see me on a lot of shows.
Me
You don't
either.
see me and Cool C on a lot of shows.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I I don't know. Whatevs. And I know it's being out there. We're not out there a lot, but it's not like it's you know what I
Yeah.
mean.
I,
But
I I talked to a comic that has gotten a lot of spots and paid gigs recently, and he's been
mm,
doing a little longer than me. And I was like, "Hey, man!" And I was drinking, so maybe I was a little obnoxious. I don't know. I was like, "Hey, man,
I mean,
I need your agent. Like, what? Like you're doing really well." And he's like, yeah, I'm just afraid it's a flash in the pan. And I tried to talk to him, and he's like, well, he was hosting that night. He's like, I'm trying to get my stuff right. And I'm like, it's cool, say no more. And then later he said, well, you need to reach out to people that are running these things. And when it's a big crowd, do your best stuff to like impress people and whatnot. So I took that advice to heart. Um, I
oh
feel
yeah,
I feel the Cleveland market isn't the market that you get famous in or get a special in. Like that's never gonna happen.
no,
Like
no,
this is
but it's a
kind of
good
like
groundwork.
yeah, you lay the groundwork. This is batting practice before you're at the plate when it really matters. And
I'll tell you what,
um,
like Cool C will say this all the time. He says the Cleveland audience is one of the hardest. You know what I'm saying? He
oh,
said it's
I
like the
totally believe it.
Apollo.
Yeah,
And look, I don't know any
I
better. I
believe
don't know
that.
any better. You know what I mean? Because obviously it's like something we
Right.
started, but I've never had real bad issues. Because like I said, with my material, I don't feel like I get those evil. You know what I mean? I don't get hecklers with my material because, like I said, I don't hit certain subjects all like that. Although, like I said, the one I'm working on. And it's not even because I point it towards me so much that it's not like it's offensive. You know what I'm saying? So it's
Yeah.
there's not like I've ever been heckled. So I've never had a
Right.
really a super bad experience other than like at the funny stop when there's not a big crowd or certain things happening. They're not feeling my shit. There's times I've gone there and I'm not getting the laughs I expect. I still get some, but it's not like other nights where you're doing the
Yeah.
same shit. But a lot of the times it's delivery. A lot of it could be anything, man. That's the beautiful thing about this craft is that you can say the same thing one time, you can say it another time. The energy in the room makes you say it another time. It could be the
Yeah.
energy in the room is a big deal. You know what I'm saying? It's tough, and that's why like when you were saying with the opener, Cool C, he loves the fucking open. He loves it. He loves to
Yeah.
be the first one. I'm like I hate it.
Yeah.
We went to fucking the Funny Farm a few weeks ago out in Youngstown and or not
Okay.
Youngstown, Niles, and as soon as we got there, fucking shout out to DD Smith. He was running it, hosting and everything. But I'm like, hey, he had to list everything. I'm like, hey, we just got here, we came, my bad, blah blah blah. Can you put us on the list? He's like, all right, I'll throw you up first. I'm like, what the fuck? In my mind, I'm like, fuck, man, we just got here. I ain't got to have a drink. I ain't got to get settled in. I ain't got to have
Right.
nothing. I don't know any of these motherfuckers sitting up there. I don't know what
Right.
they want. I'm looking real quick, trying to figure out this fucking crowd, which is a decent, not a lot, but it's like you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, fuck. So I went up and he was second, but he was like, I would have went first. I'm like, he likes to do it so he can sit and relax. His biggest thing is he likes to sit and relax. Because I'm nervous the whole fucking, not the whole time, only about a couple comments before me, I start to get nervous because I know I'm about to go up. But he likes to get it done and over with. Me, I don't like that shit. You know what I'm saying?
I get it.
But
If I was a comic, I'd totally
yeah.
be like, I'm gonna just get up there and fucking get it over with. Like, I
Uh,
totally get it. I totally get it.
it's not cool though because, like I said, after that, I was able to relax. But then it's like in a show format. Think about it. It's like, do people even remember what the fuck? You know what I mean? Because in a long show, it's like you forget. You know what I mean? Like I said, I wasn't in my right mindset. Not saying I need a drink because I already had my smoke before I went on stage.
Yeah,
So I was
yeah.
already on my mindset. But it's like just seeing this group and seeing these people, and I was trying like, okay, I'll go with this material. I could have went with different material. That probably should have been the right thing to do, but it's like it went well. But I hate going first. Is what I'm saying. It just sucks to be that one right
Uh,
out the gate. You know what I
uh
mean? But if you can
oh,
but if you bring up the energy, it's a good thing for the show. You know what I'm saying? So I've
yeah,
been first like I said, Daniel Myers. Shout out to Daniel Myers. You know who he
yeah,
is, right?
baby. Yeah, yes, I
Yeah.
do. Yes, I do.
He does the lineups and everything a lot of the times, and
Yes.
He's put me up first, and I'm like, damn it, Daniel. He's like, but I know your energy, and I'm like, all right, whatever. So he understands when you want to put the lineup together, how to build a lineup. You want to put somebody out there because he knows I'm going to go out there with my silly ass shit, with my energy, and still say what the fuck I'm going to say. But it's the energy, you know what I mean, to bring up the crowd. You know what I'm
I,
saying?
I do. And when we figure out the StreamYard shit, we're gonna put like the whole shit. You can check out Daniel Myers because like
Oh
you know what I mean? Like
yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
you guys are you guys
I
need
shout
all
out
the attention you
everybody.
can get.
I have no,
Absolutely.
yeah. That's the thing, man. I
Absolutely.
shout out everybody. That's the problem with a lot of people are young. It's funny because I'm around these dudes and they're like 27 years old. You know what I mean? And it's just like, Jason's in his 40s. There's other people that range, but a lot of them are around, they're all in their 20s. And it's like, I'm forgetting they're that age. And it's like, I ain't got time for that clicking shit. I just come out and do my shit. I got
Right.
time for my material. That's all.
Have you ever been at the Funny Stop? Have you ever been at the Funny Stop when there's like a couple of 18-year-olds come up there and they perform and they fucking went on the next level, and I'm like, fuck, that's awesome, man. How fucking awesome is that? They're 18, and they're
Amazing.
so fucking brave. They're like, fuck it, this is what I want to do. And they're so lucky their parents are in the fucking audience going, yeah, baby, let's do it. Like, shit,
Support.
yeah. Like, that's like fucking
Support.
Kevin Rock shit. Like, oh, I said the wrong word.
Chris
Kevin Hart. Kevin
Chris
Hart shit,
Kevin
right?
Hart.
Kevin Hart.
Shit, that was
drunk,
Dave
sorry.
Chappelle.
But you see
Dave Chappelle.
Yes, it's like
14.
you're 18. Jason, do you remember he was? Do you
Well,
remember
just
his
like
shows?
Just like there's
Sorry,
a huge
sorry.
difference between telling a joke and one person laughs to nobody, there's a huge difference to where you have one person's complete support to nobody. That's a big difference. That's a
Right.
world of difference between 0 and 1, right? 0 is 0, 1 is something.
Yeah, totally.
If you have zero $100 bills and you have $100 bill, that's a big difference. But it's just a piece of paper, but that's a huge difference to the other. It's the same thing with people supporting you. It's the same thing with people reinforcing that you're doing the right thing, telling you, no, you're chasing your dream and you should because you can achieve it. And no one tells you that, you go, I'll never do it. So it's a huge difference in life.
It's about a path.
Are you saying Chappelle was 14?
Yep.
I never knew that. That's really cool.
He never had a job other than stand up in his life.
Wow. What a privilege, crazy. But what a
fucking crazy. It's going.
Right?
It's knowing what you want in life and going for it no matter what.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's go ahead. Sorry.
Oh yeah, 14, of course, but he also had support because he would go and get into these comedy clubs and perform at a young age. He was able to do it. You know what I'm saying? And he was doing it. He was doing it on the sidewalk. He was doing it in parks.
But
he did it anywhere.
Right, but he's 14 doing it on the sidewalk. So were his parents? You see what I'm saying? Like,
oh, they were established. They were allowing him to be a kid. Do what he had to do.
And then,
I mean, think about it. 14, man. I was out doing some foul shit. I mean, I was out, out and about. I was fucking, you know what I mean? 14, you're in high school. Summer before you think about it, man. You think about that's young, but it's not young.
Hey,
it's young, but at that time, you already know what the hell you want to do.
But you and I
listen though.
I was doing bad shit too. Jason wasn't. I totally get what you're saying now. Leave it in that perspective. I get it. Go ahead, baby.
But listen, Tiger Woods was on like the Tonight Show when he was like 7 doing a putt and nailing it because his dad literally trained him how to be a good golfer from that young of an age. Richard Pryor was incentivized to show up to school on time so he could do 2 minutes in front of his class, making them laugh. So he would show up to school every day on time to perform 2 minutes in front of his class and make them laugh. So sometimes people are great because they start so young that is an ability that it's hard to catch up with. If you start doing it at 18, even at 18, if you start doing it, it's different. It becomes a little bit instinctual for them how to be really good at it. And then once you're able to get on stage and make people laugh, then you kind of decide, do I just want the laughs or do I want to choose how I make people laugh? So that's on a whole nother level where, because Richard Pryor started, he was on like 3-channel TV just making people laugh. I grew up with 6 siblings, no parents, just me and my sisters and brothers. And people would laugh because that's the turn is there were no parents, which is ridiculous. But then later he's in Vegas killing it and just walks off stage and goes, I'm not going to do it anymore because they're not laughing with me. They're laughing at me. And this shit's ridiculous.
Right.
And it was a left turn. He starts releasing albums, which are more what he really feels and who he really is. And like they all go platinum. And then he has a stage. And then that's the real Richard Pryor. So it's very interesting.
But just to talk, yeah.
I was gonna say, you want to talk about some stories, man, and I know people know him for what he is, but you know Bert Kreischer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know who he is, but his story is amazing. I'm not saying he's hilarious, but his story is amazing. The fact that Rolling Stone wrote his life in the article about being in college. Will Smith bought the rights. That became Van Wilder.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Then he ended up getting a job at I believe it was at the Travel Channel because of just notoriety, whatever the case. He was able to go around, do certain things, blah blah blah. But he also got into comedy. Obviously, he meets Joe Rogan, which is a plus. But he tells a story about the machine on fucking Rogan. That bit became one of his signature fucking bits because it wasn't even a bit before he told the story about the whole thing about going to Russia in college and blah 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 blah. And then that said bit, which is his best bit, becomes a movie. Becomes a movie. He writes a movie, a movie about it. So within a life of, and he already says he lives the best life, which is awesome. But within a life, to have that happen is awesome. So we talk about, you said people are individuals and things like that. And I always say I'm nobody. You know what I mean? I just do things. I'm here, I'm there. I live a life. I ain't nobody special. I'm me. You know what I'm saying? But I'm somebody at the same time. And everybody is somebody. And everybody has their own individual life and every individual story or every individual need to fill. You know what I'm saying? And it's weird with comedy because it finds you. I don't know. I don't know if it finds you or if it's just you determining that your own life where you just say, fuck it. I'm just going to do whatever it is. Because it really adds no value, but at the same time, it adds tons of value because people with laughter, when people come out and they laugh, it makes you feel so good. Fuck, that's the best feeling in the world to laugh. Have you ever laughed so hard that your stomach hurts? Unfortunately, my comedy does not provide that, and I need to figure that the fuck out. But I've laughed so hard where my stomach hurts, where I've cried, and it's been stupid moments in life. It ain't even been watching somebody. It has. I've watched specials. I've watched things where it made me laugh, but a lot of it's happening in real time, just in the moment. But I've yet to have that experience. I'd like to think I can dig that somewhere, but at the same time, I still just talk about my life. You'll find those people who appreciate what you're saying and enjoy it when you talk about sticking fingers in buttholes and things like that. I'm just saying, you'll find your audience eventually. It all comes back to you'll find your audience. I always talk about this real quick is that
Go ahead.
I always say if you Google my name, there's hundreds, thousands of Justin Fullers out there in the world. If they all just came to see me perform, I'd be okay. So if you just add some extra people in there, you know what I'm saying? It'd be all right, is what I'm getting at. So you just got to find who's fucking rocking with you and just fucking, but it takes time, man. We're all doing this from the mud. You know what I mean? We're all individuals trying to reach out to the world and say, hey, look at me. I'm telling jokes. I'm talking about my life. Relate with me. You know what I'm saying? But we all find places that we can do it. And that's the beautiful thing about it. There is a community.
Yes.
It could be better, but things like this this cross pollination, these podcasts, these talking off air, seeing people in the comedy clubs and things like
Yeah.
that. It helps shoot out the airways, and get to know somebody a little bit better. You know what I'm saying? And if they choose to, you
Right.
know what I mean. It's just one of those deals where it helps. You know what I mean? But there's haters.
Yeah.
Yeah, you hold on. Let me switch my earbuds real quick.
It's all right. So, look, I know it's over like 2 hours.
Yeah.
Our podcast is called One Last Question. I have one last question for you. If you can hear me, can you not hear me yet? It's okay.
Nope. There we go. I
All
got
right,
you.
baby. I was saying it's
Yeah.
over 2 hours.
I'm sorry. Let me talking.
No, it's us being stupid. Are you kidding me? It's us being like,
All right.
we are fucking grateful that you gave us this time. We told you and Cool C from the beginning, you're our first
1 and 2.
people.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank
We are
you.
so
Shit.
grateful
Thank you.
that you took
Hey, I
the
don't
time to
mind.
do this. No, you took over 2 hours of your time to like just sit with us, man. That's how we feel.
No
So
worries.
thank you. Well, we're
Appreciate it.
grateful. No, we appreciate it.
What
Our
is
podcast is
your last
called
question, Kerri?
One Last
Yep.
Question. I think I have one. Do you? Oh, we see. Here's the problem. We didn't decide on the last question.
I ain't worried about
No.
it. Shit, I shoot off the
We'll
cuff.
each, we
Can
will
I
each
ask
do
one and
one.
you ask? Okay. Oh,
Hey,
good.
she's
Yeah.
frozen. Is your camera okay? She's frozen on my end.
I
I
am.
don't know. Yeah.
Am I
You
moving?
see it, Jason?
I can see her. She's moving on my end.
Okay, well, as long as it's recorded on your end, okay, we're good. All right.
Uh-oh. Can you hear
Well,
me?
go ahead. I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you perfectly. So we'll continue.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here's my one last question, because that's the name of our
Mhm.
podcast. Is with the comedy, like what is your ultimate goal? Like what is it? Truly, what is it that you feel like, what is it? What is your ultimate goal with this? And
I mean, I think like
I understand it's a vulnerable question, but
no, that's an easy one. That's like Jason's ultimate
what
goal, I would assume.
what do you want? Like, what do you fucking fantasize about? What do you want?
My goal is to be able to survive, pay my bills, travel different cities, telling jokes, and that's really it. If it leads to anything else, I'm fine. But if I can make enough money where I ain't gotta worry about bills, food, payments, anything like that, and I'm still traveling and just going to different cities because ultimately I'm going to different places. I'm visiting other places. I'm traveling. I'm enjoying this thing that we call life. I'm able to go and visit other places, other people to make them laugh and tell my life and my story and continue the process. You know, you put out specials after a while. You know, you're gonna want to put out whatever material eventually and try and think of new stuff and this and that. But I mean, they even say after you don't want to put out your first special until 10 years anyway. You're still developing. You know what I mean? It's really it's a process. I mean, all these jokes we're telling, I'm trying to make them better every time I go on stage without having to really even think about it. It's tough because I'm a pothead. Weed head. I say weed head. I like weed head because I do shit. But you know what I'm saying? I need to write more. I need to write more about the military things. I need to add more stuff to a lot of other of my jokes because I can make things longer. I can stretch out more of the material. I got a lot more to add to my porn shit. But, you know, there's just other things you can add to certain bits that you can make them longer and stretch out your material. You know what I mean? And enjoy doing so. So it's always a process. So I'm trying not to put pressure on myself. At the
Good.
same time, fuck my job. No, I love my job. At the same time, I'm trying not to do that for the rest of my life. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I look at retirement in 20 years, and it's like I don't want to do what I'm doing for 20. What are we doing with ourselves? You know what I'm saying? And it's like I can
Yeah.
do it, but I don't think about doing
Yeah,
that. I don't want to
Right.
do it.
Yes.
You know
yeah,
what I
Yeah.
mean? So
I
that's all.
I
I
I get
I,
it.
I always just want to be able to make enough to be able to live and still do that. Travel wherever to perform, telling jokes, having the podcast with
Yeah.
Cool C and having other comedians on
Yeah.
or other people and just continue doing what we do. I go to work every day, like I said, to do this,
I love
to
that.
yeah,
provide content. You know what I
I
mean? This is nothing to me. This is happy for me. You two are starting
yeah,
a podcast. Kudos to you. We talked about it. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Plenty of time. You said, well, I'm going to be my first. I say, I'll be there 100%. I don't care. No
eh,
problem. You know
yeah.
what I
we
mean?
appreciate
So
it.
Yeah. And you
I mean,
were and you
I don't know
were.
what it's going to do, baby,
I don't
but we're
care.
here. We're
We don't
here.
care. We don't
Well,
And
we
care,
so
man.
listen. We
I'm
all
going to pump it
enjoyed
out.
it.
I'm going to
We
pump
all
it out through the
enjoyed it.
airwaves,
Thank
So,
Yeah,
you.
of course.
I
anything we all enjoyed it's already a win. So
Right.
if anything comes of it, it's gravy. If nothing does, I had a great evening. I enjoyed talking with
Me
you. I
too.
I also
I
have
had
one
a
last
great time.
question.
Hold on. Yeah, hold on. I just want
Yeah.
to
Yeah,
say thank you for your honest answer. I think that's I really do. It's very I know it was a vulnerable question and I appreciate your honesty.
No problem.
And I think you're on the right path. Truly, like I know maybe like your comedy is a little different from whatever. I get it. So anyway, I'll shut up.
Mhm.
I'll let Jason ask his question. But
I mean,
thank you. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I say I was in a local movie. It's not out yet, but I got to play like a gangster. You know what I'm saying?
That's
Like a
that's
mafia
great.
guy.
really cool.
Fucking
Yeah. I
like
got.
yeah. Say it. What is it?
I
What
mean,
movie?
it's it's called Maxie's Revenge. The last song, Maxie's Revenge. It's not out yet. I don't know when
Okay.
they're gonna put it out, but I have a trailer. It's on the website, justinfullercomedy.com. You know what I mean? I got links in
Yeah,
my Instagram and all that. The YouTube page. If you go to the YouTube page, the Midnight Paco Podcast YouTube page,
Yeah.
there's links for me, Cool C, all that stuff. The Redbubble, the Amazon, they're all on the YouTube accounts and Spotify things and things like that. So
right.
everything's out there.
So
Well,
But what's your
so
question? What's your question?
I appreciate you doing this because I'm just talking for me and Jason. I'll be quick. I appreciate you doing this. You and Cool C were the people that you never made fun of us because I know we were a couple and touchy feely and blah, I get it. You two never did that from the beginning.
No, ain't
Cool
that.
C from
Why?
the
Who
beginning.
made
Cool.
fun of that?
Oh, many people. We don't have to get into that. Many people.
Wow.
From the beginning,
Uh,
like Cool C, like took Jason. I feel under his wing. That's I
yeah,
have a
he's
lot of
cool.
respect for you both,
He's awesome.
and I really
Appreciate it.
appreciate you doing this. I really, really
No,
do.
of course, no
And
problem, man.
yeah,
Anytime.
your comedy is good, man.
Thank
It's
you.
different, and I
It's
don't
different.
fucking change a bit. Don't fucking change.
Okay.
I love it. I love it. And I'm gonna shut up now. Jason, go ahead.
Thank you. All right. Thank
so
you.
we really appreciate you joining us. I think if anyone watching this enjoyed it, you should check out the Midnight Paco podcast.
Yeah,
You
let
should
him
go
do his.
to justinfullercomedy.com and check him out and what he's got on there. I have one last question, and that
Yes,
question is
sir.
a little loaded, but it's simple. Are you happy, Justin?
That is a fucking loaded question.
Very
Holy
fucking
It
shit.
is.
loaded, dude. I thought
God
mine
It
was
is.
damn.
deep. Shit. That's almost an
Um.
hour, Jason.
Um. I'm working towards happiness, Jason.
I like
I'm
that.
working towards happiness
Yeah.
because what I'm doing is a path towards said happiness. Am I happy with everything in my life? No. but I'm not unhappy with my life. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
It makes perfect sense.
it makes perfect sense
Mm,
to me. So that means you're happy, man. Fuck yeah.
I mean,
Right?
trust me. Look, like we talked about it. I'm on borrowed time already. I
Yeah.
I'm not worried about. I went to the store today, spent some money, and I wasn't even worried about it. Unfortunately, I didn't like it, but I wasn't worried about it.
Yeah,
Right.
So, and in that point, I'm healthy to the extent that I know. I got
yeah,
great people around me.
Hmm.
right.
There's things that can be changed, obviously, but all in all, I'm guess
Yeah.
I'm happy. I guess I'm happy. Look,
Yeah.
you talked about what the goal is, Kerri,
Yeah.
and the biggest thing is I want to be able to go on stage in front of a sold out crowd. I guess that's the goal. A sold out crowd that's there to see me. Ultimately,
Yeah,
that's what it is. I talked about traveling, this and that, but ultimately, I think if I get to that point, that will provide the the boost it takes to get to the traveling part. So the ultimate goal is to walk out to a sold out crowd who's there to see me, and I'm
yeah.
there to tell you what I feel about this flight for an hour or whatever.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
guess
I think
that's
it's
all.
beautiful.
And,
I
and
do
so
too.
and so we're both in the process of that. So I guess I'm in a
Yeah,
happy spot, but it could be better.
yeah, yeah,
But you're there. I might get some stink on this, but if Jason Lee can do that, because I'm like obsessed now with like his comedy shit. You guys are the same genre. It's like shock. I love it. I love it. It's right there. It's shock, but a little uncomfortable. It's really cool, man. You can do it. Yeah.
I
I
mean,
like it.
I look. The good thing about the funny stop is that we weren't. Shout out to Pete. I didn't get to say it. R.I.P.
Yeah.
Pete. Shout out to Pete.
Let's give him a toast. Come on, Pete.
Shout out to Pete. Yeah, God love
Jay.
him.
here's
Right.
the P.
Hold on. Mm,
There he is. There you go. He had
You
some
know, he
goals, but
said,
there he goes.
yeah, he 5 minutes clean. 5 minutes
5
clean.
minutes clean.
5 minutes
5 minutes
clean,
clean.
you motherfuckers. 5 minutes clean, you
Yeah,
fuckers. Right?
and
I loved it.
and, and so it was. It was a thing where it made me, which is my shit's still not clean. I still throw a little, but it's borderline. I don't swear. I'm not dropping f bombs. I spell it out. That was my way around it. With the whole envelope. I mean, it was F U C. Yeah, but you find ways around certain things. And I don't swear, but boy, my subject matter is fucking
Yeah,
borderline as shit. But it
It's
keeps me in
yes.
that. I mean, I can't go and do a clean show at like a church, obviously, because I can't talk about drugs,
right,
sex, and
right.
all that bullshit, obviously. But I don't swear, so I'm in that range where
Yeah,
I don't know whether the fuck I belong, but at the same time, I
Yeah.
just talk my
Right.
shit. That's
You're
the goal.
you're that niche, man, that people will come to you. I
I'm
mean
trying.
that. People will
I mean,
come to
they need to
you.
hurry the fuck up so I ain't
I
gotta go to
know.
work tomorrow.
I know. And
and
I
getting
get it.
money. God damn it.
I get
I
it.
mean, I've gotten paid a little bit, but it ain't enough. It's gotta be consistent. So it's one of those
Him
deals where
him too. But I'm
we're
saying
working
both.
on it.
Yes, but I'm
Working
saying
on
both
it.
of
Working
you,
on it.
both yes, both of you are so fucking talented. Keep it going. I
Oh,
swear
you're
to God.
sweet.
Justin, thank you for being
Yep,
here. I
Thank
appreciate
you
it.
know
very much.
you may think it's like
Oh
weird, but like thank you so much that you
no,
took the
It's a
time to
it's
fucking this
a it's
fucking
a
was this
it's
is
a
like
it's a free roll because I really enjoyed talking with you and I had a great evening. So
awesome.
if
Yeah, well, that's what it's
that
about. We're two
that
comedians
right,
talking about comedy and
right.
life, man.
So
What the fuck? It should be
it's
that way.
it's
It's an easy
yeah,
conversation.
it's already a win in my book, and I appreciate you taking
yes,
time out of your evening.
it is.
And we're gonna hit up Cool C because you
Yeah.
guys are 1 and 2. You're one. He's gonna be two in no uncertain order. later this week.
Right.
Hey,
Right.
check out the Midnight Paco podcast. Check out
Let 'em-
justinfullercomedy.com, and you'll
Let
enjoy
them say
their
it.
material as much or even more than you enjoy this podcast or this channel.
Justin, what do you have to tag? Whatever else. Say it again. I'm gonna fuck. Say it.
Hey, everybody, you can follow me at Justin Fuller Comedy on all platforms because I'm only on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. You know, it's all the same, Justin Fuller Comedy. You can Google Justin Fuller Comedy. That's the best thing about the Google joke. Like, if you Google Justin Fuller, you'll get a bunch of different results. But if you add comedy to that motherfucker, I'm the first bad boy that shows up.
Nice.
Say something. That's right.
Awesome. That's fucking awesome.
Right. So just Google Justin Fuller Comedy and you'll see everything. The Midnight Paco podcast comes up. My website comes up. All that shit comes up. YouTube. Go to YouTube. Subscribe to the podcast. We need subscribers on YouTube. On all platforms. Just go ahead to the Midnight Paco podcast on any platform. Subscribe. We're out everywhere.
That's right.
So,
so how do they get your merch though? They have merch.
We got merch. If you go, like I said, if you go to any of the, like, if you go to my podcast, if you go to my website, there's links in there. If you go to the podcast on YouTube,
which is what? Tell me again.
JustinFullerComedy.com or the Midnight Paco podcast on YouTube, wherever.
Okay.
Most of them should have affiliate links in there somewhere. But if you go to Amazon, it's on there. You can look for Midnight Paco podcast. It should come up with, but under 26 Apparel. If it's under 26 Apparel, that's the legit merch because we have been bootlegged. So on Amazon and on Redbubble. Redbubble, you can get all types of shit. Like I said, you can get mugs, you can get coasters, you can get fucking shower curtains, you can get a clock, you can get
I might get a Midnight Paco podcast shower curtain just to have one. I might do that because that'd be unique.
If you do whatever you do, anybody out there, take a picture, send it to us. Trust me, we'll fucking post it. Anyone who gets merch, take a picture of it. I'll fucking post it. Send it to us on justinfullercomedy.com. Or send it to me on Instagram, Justin Fuller Comedy. You can send it to CoolC at the_great_COREE or the Midnight Paco podcast on Instagram. Send us anything if you take a picture on merch. Send it to us. It'd be awesome. I'll post that.
Hey,
that's awesome.
We love the interview.
Go ahead.
We love the interview, and we really appreciate you coming on. And if you ever want us to return the favor on your podcast, your channel, we'd be more than happy to, together or separate. So it was wonderful talking to you, Justin.
We do that shit live, dog. You have to come to the studio and this bitch. We don't play games.
That's my fucking goal, man. I want to go live. I'm like, we have to have
we don't do it live on air, but we do it in person. Like we prefer people come to the studio, especially if they're close to it. So
that's my goal. That's my goal, man. We got to be like we're on YouTube, so we have to give so many viewers and so many hours, right? So I'm like, oh no, baby, we got to go live. I'm driving me crazy with this bullshit.
No, I don't go live. No, we don't go live. I'm just saying live in person. No. Because we may in the same room. Like we may say some shit that somebody may not want out there after a while, so we may have to edit. I don't do much editing. Don't get it twisted. I don't do much editing, but after a while, like if we're talking and we say a story, I'm like,
okay.
Just in case.
We're on the same page. I say fuck it, no editing. Whatever happens. However,
most of
I'm not dogging.
It's very rare.
I'm not dogging. I'm not. Him and I are going to be moving to another location where we can be like all together. That's what we.
Yeah. Oh no, it's cool. It's cool. I mean, trust me, it's at my fucking. It's an inconvenience to my family at the same time, in a sense. But they ride with me. You know, they let me fucking do my shit. You know, because we got to set up somewhere. But hey, guess what? We still invite people, and we still have it, and we still rock the fucking episode. So it's one of those deals where you got to do with what you got. You know what I'm saying? We're all from the mud, and you know, you make shit work. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
see the background. I can set up anywhere with this background. Baby, it's the Midnight Paco Podcast wherever it stands. It doesn't matter.
Well, I truly appreciate you doing this. Seriously,
Yeah,
we
no
talked
problem.
about
100%.
it, and
Thank
you
you.
fucking
Yeah, we
actually
did.
did it.
Yep,
And
yep.
Yeah.
yeah,
It was a
man,
good
so cool.
episode. It really was.
If you want to plug your
Yes.
stuff one more time, go ahead. I mean, I love it. Go ahead
Okay.
if you want to.
Hey, no worries. Everybody, you can follow me at Just for the Comedy on everywhere. Midnight Paco Podcast. Google. Just Google all that shit. It'll come up. Everything will come up. Check Amazon, Redbubble. Redbubble is where all the good shit is. You get book bags for your kids. All types of good shit. Bags to take for groceries and shit. If you want a fucking apron to fucking barbecue, go ahead, get one of those. It's good for you.
You're
But
awesome, man.
That's it. Hey, we know we're like
That's it.
you. You know, we're just trying to do the damn thing. So thank
Yeah.
you for having me.
Everyday people.
Appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? It
I'm
was
so
cool. I had a
our
great
pleasure.
time.
Yeah.
You
It
I'm
was
know,
a
so
lot of
glad.
fun.
Yeah. It was
what's
it was huge. Yes. Oh my God, it was a beautiful moment, and I'm so glad I met you. And I only met you through him, and I love
yep.
him so fucking much, and it's so fucking beautiful. Thank you
This was
so much for
amazing.
taking the time, because
I
it was
talk
like
about
3 hours.
Right.
Thank you so
me,
much.
me and Cordell talk about it all the time. I tell him, I say, hey, dude, I've met so many different people because of me deciding to do comedy that I would have never met before.
Yeah.
Right?
So
Isn't
Yeah.
that
it's
beautiful?
awesome.
It's great.
It's been a
Oh my God,
pleasure.
we could talk for
It's
6
been a
more
pleasure.
hours. Oh my God, yeah.
I
Yeah.
can.
We're
Cordell,
I
the
could too.
episode could be forever, but Cordell, he like cut that shit short. So you know what I'm saying?
If you want to talk, I'll talk. I
we're
love
gonna
it. Thank you so much.
we're gonna end at the sweet spot, but we
Yep.
really enjoyed having you, Justin.
Thank you
And
so
I
much.
definitely
Appreciate
appreciate
it.
you taking the time, man.
No
No,
problem, man. Have a good night.
truly.
Thank you. And hey, all the
You
success
too.
on your podcast. I'll tell you that. I'm gonna blast
Thank
it
you.
out there. So do the damn thing. Yes,
Thank you
We
sir.
so much.
appreciate it.
And send us link we're gonna link your podcast and all that, everything you. I don't know.
We're
I'm
gonna
good
do
at
it.
this.
We're gonna do it.
He knows how
We're
to do all
gonna
that.
link everything.
Jason's smart. He has all the
Yeah.
technology. He uploads.
I got it. I'm on it. I'm on it.
All right.
Smart.
Appreciate
Pretty
everything.
blonde. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Seriously,
Yep.
Justin.
All right.
Seriously.
Have a good night. Yep.
You
You too,
too.
baby.
Good night, Justin.
Yep. You too. Thank you.
All right. Bye bye.
Peace
You too. Bye
out.
bye.
Bye, baby.
Bye.